hours of power, 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 hours of power. Open your mind, open your mind, open your mind, open your mind. The prophet of thought. Open your mind, open your mind, open your mind. The prophet of thought. Open your mind, open your mind, open your mind. The prophet of thought. Open your mind, open your mind, open your mind. The prophet of thought. Open your mind, open your mind, open your mind, open your mind. The prophet of thought. Open your mind, open your mind, open your mind, open your mind.
Peace, folks, and welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why you are here. Tonight is a special night here on the old Hours of Power. we haven't been doing many of the hours of power because, ever since the whole hangout thing has been kind of crazy, and everybody's kind of recalibrating and all that kind of stuff. So we haven't been doing the hours of power, but they're coming back, y'all. Yeah, it's coming back. And tonight, I'm gonna have my man Cory Haywood up here for y'all tonight, because he hit me up and he was like, "Yo, X, I want to talk about this, this Jay-Z thing, in the NFL, which y'all all know, the whole celebrity shit ain't really my thing. It's not really my side of the block. But Brother Haywood is my man, and he hit me up the other day. They're like, "Yo, X, man, I want to come on and talk about Jay-Z." So, being that he my man, I said, "All right, we're gonna do this." So he should be here any minute. He'll probably have the floor for the most part. Um, because like I said, this ain't really X's thing, talking about, celebrities and what they got going on. I mean, I have my opinions on it, and you may hear some of them tonight, but for the most part, especially when you're talking about, the whole, YouTube and all that kind of shit, I don't really voice my opinions on this kind of stuff. I just kind of, let it be what it is. But tonight, I'll chop it up with my man, Brother Haywood, and see what he got going on. But while we waiting for Brother Haywood to come through, first and foremost, I'd like to thank all of my subscribers, my supporters, my contributors, my donators. Like I always say, you don't have to spend your hard-earned coins on this platform, but you choose to do so. And it's greatly appreciated, man. I mean, I know every time I get up here, I say that shit, and y'all like, "Oh man, why X always got to say this shit?" I always start the show off like this because I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. What's good, brother Tyrone? I see you up there, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I especially appreciate y'all, man. Watching, subscribing, sharing the videos, liking the videos, dropping your coins on this platform, whether it be in the super chat or, y'all usually hit me up on my PayPal through Streamlabs and all that kind of stuff. And I appreciate it, man. I appreciate all of y'all, man, because y'all don't have to do that. You don't have to, man, but you choose to do it. You choose to do it. And I'm appreciative, man. You know, y'all know here at T.P.O.T, this isn't a huge platform, but like I always say, the people who watch it, and have acquired the taste for it, they have huge minds and they have huge hearts. So they're always, hitting a brother up with donations, and it's like, a lot of times I get donations even days that I'm not even on the air. I'm still overwhelmed with that one, with the fact that y'all donate to me even when I'm not on. And I appreciate it, man. I appreciate every single one of you. And I'm grateful. I'm honored. I'm humbled at the fact of that, man. And I thank y'all, all of you. And like I always say, I don't tell you these things because, just to kiss your butts, because y'all know I don't kiss butts. Hey, what's good, brother James? I see you up there, man. I don't kiss butts, but I say it because I sincerely mean it, and I appreciate all of y'all, man. I do, So, anyway, now that that's out of the way, like I said, we're gonna get on here. I'm gonna chop it up with my man Cory Haywood. Those of you who follow the Proper Thought series, y'all know that Brother Haywood is he's one of the usual suspects. I mean, Cory Haywood has been coming on my platforms ever since I worked, for Nubia Hood Radio. So, I mean, Cory's been around for a while. He's always been on T.P.O.T, like he back in the day, years and years and years ago. He talks a lot of shit. A lot of people, he's one of those people who you love to hate. And like I always say, I don't agree with everything Brother Haywood says, but I've been knowing Brother Haywood for a long time. And he's still my man, even though I disagree with a lot of the shit he says. He's still my man. And like I said, he hit me up the other day. "Oh, X, man, I want to come on and talk about Jay-Z." So, there it is, So I guess he'll be coming on soon. Let me see. I might have to hit him up again. His ass running late as always. As always, motherfucker, just late. Just late. me see. I might have to hit his ass up again. Let's see. It might be him right there. And he always having problems getting on the stream too for some reason. So let's see what the hell's going on. Always have this problem when you got old Brother Haywood coming on the stream and shit. And yeah, I mean, speaking of streams, I mean, I was gonna do something else. Peace, brother M.O.T. I see you up there, man. I was gonna do something else. I finally figured out how to use this StreamYard shit, y'all. You know, it took me a while and shit. I had to do a few practice runs on it. Had to do a few practice runs on it today. You know, I mean, and I had to do it quick too, because I only worked today. I only worked up until sometime this afternoon because the freaking water pump went in my wife's van. So you know that had to be done. So I mean, once I did that, once I got that in there, I was like, that's it. I ain't doing no more damn work today, you know. Trying to be like you, man. I'm trying to be like you, M.O.T. You know what I mean? You know, have that what's that shit the old schools used to say? You know, sharp as a rat turd and shit, man. You be sharp as a rat turd, man. I'm trying to emulate that shit, brother. And this ain't a do-rag, man. Everybody always called this shit a do-rag. This is not a do-rag, y'all. This is called a lock sock, is what it's called. Lock sock. Well, actually, I think it's locks sock. I think. I don't know. I bought them from these rosters, man. You know, I bought all different colors. You know, I bought about 8 of them and shit. And I don't get to wear them that much. Believe it or not, I mostly wear them when I come on here because I don't really have, you know, I can't wear them, you know, for what I do. They'll be all fucked up, you know. They'll be all fucked up. So, but I do wear them when I come on here. Yeah, man, lock sock, brother M.O.T. That's what it's called, lock sock. Actually, I need to be promoting those folks, man, because you know they make them by hand. It's some Rasta Jamaican. It's a brother and a lady, and I think they husband and wife. They make them by hand, and you actually can order them online. So, you know, yeah, it's a lock sock, man. See, this has got a hole in it for your dreads to come out of in the back. You know what I'm saying? Your dreads hang out the back of them. I got some where they kind of wrap the dreads in, and like 1 or 2 of those. But these are lock socks, man, not do rags. See, do rags don't look like that. But anyway, yeah. Finally figured out how to use the StreamYard shit, and now I'm working on figuring out Zoom. See, I don't be having time to really mess with this shit, y'all, because you know, usually when I come up in here, man, I mean, I be done just like came in from like literally, you know, especially now that it's summertime. I work right on up till it gets dark. So usually I'm working up until like 8:45, 9 o'clock, man. You know, because I'm sun up, sun down. You know, because the business that I run, we don't have hours. Our hours are sun up to sundown. So if the sun is up, we're open. If it's down, we're closed. I don't even have hours on the door or no shit like that. No, the hours are sun up to sundown. If the sun's up, we open. If the sun's down, we're closed. That's how I operate. So I have to make special concessions on Wednesdays and Thursday nights, because I'll fuck around and lose track of time, which I often do many, many times. I lose track of time. And sometimes I look up, man, it'd be like fucking 10 after 9 and shit, you know, and I'm supposed to be on here at 9:30. So, you know, shit be happening. Shit be happening. But like I said, that's right, brother M.O.T. For real. So yeah, I mean, Like today though, I was actually notice how I actually came on at like close to the time, because I actually made a concession today because like I said, I'd put a damn water pump inside my wife's van and shit. So, once I got done with that, I was like, I ain't doing shit else today. So actually got in here and was able to clean up and freaking get in here on time. What the hell is going on with Brother Haywood? See this shit every time, Brother Haywood. Every goddamn time. Let's see what the hell is going on. I'm going to hit him up, y'all. Find out what the hell he doing. Notice now, he late, but he hit me up the other day saying he want to come on the show and talk about this shit, but his ass late. I just spoke to him earlier, I don't know what the hell is going on. Don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on, y'all. Coming on a special night. That's probably what it is. That's probably what happened. He probably thought we were going to do it tomorrow. That's what he thought. That's what he thought. He probably thought we were doing it tomorrow. But I told him we were doing it today. I told him we were doing it today. So what the hell? What the hell, Cory? Oh, you want to come on, M.O.T? You want to come on instead? All right. I see the link, brother. Cory done fucked around and forgot that we said tonight. He probably think we coming on Wednesday. Oh shit! I'm looking in my email, y'all. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Big Nick. Big Nick from South Florida Accountability. He's one of those brothers who go out and see if the cop's gonna violate his rights and all that kind of shit. Y'all gotta look him up. Big Nick, South Florida Accountability will be here Thursday on DXL. Yeah, Big Nick will be here Thursday, y'all. Yeah, man. Thursday gonna be crazy. Yeah, I just got his message just now. Yeah, Big Nick, South Florida Accountability will be on DXL Thursday at 9:30 p.m. You know the time. Right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. All right, Brother M.O.T, I'm gonna go ahead and send you the link, man, because I don't know what the hell Cory doing. Told his ass we was doing it tonight. I'm telling you, boy. Negroes. God damn Negroes. God damn niggers. God damn niggers. You damn niggers. Oh shit. Yeah, well, I just sent you the link, Brother M.O.T, because I think Cory got the times and the dates mixed up because I told him we was going to do this tonight. He probably think it's Wednesday, so he probably somewhere with one of his hoes. So there it is. he probably somewhere with one of his hoes, man. Ain't even thinking about this shit. He's somewhere else. I guess he'll be on here. I guess we gonna be on here tomorrow then, I guess. I don't know. Don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I just sent the link, brother M.O.T. I don't know what the hell happened to Corey. Don't know what happened to the brother. Cause y'all know I don't usually do shows on Tuesday nights. I mean, I usually don't, but like I said, he hit me up. So here we are. Brother M.O.T. You muted.
Oh, Prophet, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's good, man? What's good?
Oh, chilling out, man. Chilling out.
So being that Corey ass done not showed up, maybe he'll come through later. I mean, what do you think about this whole J.Z.N.F.L thing? If you think anything about it at all.
No, I mean, you have to understand. All the statements that Jay-Z made is about moving ahead from that specific situation with Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick was a hermetically sealed box within itself. See, within business, if you can garner that type of market share and audience with a specific person, you already got your foot in the door some sort of way, right? So, in order to bring the people back in to the actual limelight of the actual product, you can actually do other things that people will disagree with up front. But I don't think people understand what Jay Z is doing. It's pretty predictable if you look at all the moves that he's made. He's obviously trying to be the leader of black anything going forward when it comes to sports, when it comes to music, when it comes to everything else going forward. When people don't understand how business is built, it's built through a very incredibly dirty process. But at the end of the day, you have to look out way beyond his goals because we don't understand what he's doing right now. But 10 or 15 or 20 years down the road, you're gonna understand it. I mean, think about how good Shannon Sharp is on TV right now. What happens if Shannon Sharp were to join Jay-Z's network another 5 or 6 years from now and just do things from a black perspective where he could be totally be protected while speaking on those type of issues? See, when you bring emotion to a business decision, especially long-term business decision, you don't understand anything.
Hmm.
The Colin Kaepernick situation had a beginning, an apex, and an endpoint. Once that dude got his money, no matter how much it was, that was the end of that specific battle. Now
So
the new, go ahead.
do you think, because I've been getting the vibe, because I've seen, other people talk about this, I've seen other people, do streams on it and everything else. Do you think that we as black people, should we be upset? Should we be upset with Jay-Z, man? Because it seems like a lot of us are somewhat, I don't want to say upset per se, but we're uncomfortable with it. Do you think that we should be that way?
No, because you don't understand what Jay Z. I understand fully what Jay Z's doing, but when you bring emotion to the table, see, emotion doesn't allow you to think about long term goals and strategy. And most black people think through an emotional lens or emotional perspective. I'm not saying that makes them dumber than everybody else. I'm not saying that makes them less prepared than anybody else. But for somebody who's in this position who is able to broker that deal for that guy, can also broker other deals once he's in the door.
Mm.
And most people don't understand how business works. Like me, I was in the military. I was in a mess up situation to where I was no longer in the military. But since I had the inside knowledge, I went to companies and they was able to partner with me because I knew everything about the process. So I was able to get back into the same situation that I was now no longer in to be able to make deals that they didn't think I could make. But I knew I could make those deals because I was backed by certain people behind the scenes,
Mm.
right? So it's like, look, if you're purely emotional, you're never going to understand business. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a reason why this guy wants his footprint in the door of the NFL. The NFL plays his wife's music in most of the stadiums. He makes, I think, about $200 or $300 million a year just based off that alone, nothing else. So for anybody to have the specific level of partnership with the NFL already and to come in to do additional things with them, it would have to be somebody of that level.
Mm. I don't.
Because, go ahead.
I mean, to me, good looking out on that super chat, brother. DUG in the house,
Doug,
greatest moderator in Black YouTube, hands
you,
down.
Uatu
Yeah.
the Watcher, he's everywhere, man.
Yeah, man, brother DUG is that dude, man. Um, this is the thing. I mean, if you're a person in a person like Jay-Z's tax bracket, okay? Because somebody like Jay-Z is in a tax bracket that, most brothers, let's be clear, aren't in. I don't know about you, but I'm not in that tax bracket. And people who
Not
are,
that high. Not
yeah,
that
I mean,
high.
I ain't in that tax bracket, nowhere near it. But people in his tax bracket, what do, man? They make a lot of money moves. They make a lot of deals. They do a lot of different things, most of which we don't really even hear about until afterward. So, I mean, I think that this is just another one of those things. I think the real problem that people have with it is the hypocrisy. It's because he told a lot of other entertainers, okay, and celebrities not to deal with the NFL. Those were his words. And now he's turning around and making this big mega deal with the NFL. And it just looks kind of hypocritical more than
It
anything
doesn't.
else.
It doesn't. It does not.
It doesn't. Why not?
Nope.
Why not?
Because they probably offer him a better deal up front
Mm,
to square all the other people out.
okay.
Just like I was offered a better deal up front to square all the other people out up front. Because I was a minority and there was no way they would be able to close me out of any contract that I asked for with the federal government. So they had to make a deal with me. And sometimes that deal is crossing out other people on the possible list in order to be able to advance yourself forward. But see, advancing yourself forward is still advancing the movement forward because people can come in with weak deals, and then there's people who can come in with strong deals.
Mm.
Weak deals get co opted, strong deals don't get co opted.
Well, you don't think, okay, for instance, all right, I have a company, you have a company, right? We
Yep.
both self made men, we both have our own businesses, right? And say I got somebody who I want to make commercials for me, right? But they know brother M.O.T. And you say, you know what? Don't do no commercials for X. Just let that go. I don't really like how he do business. Don't do any promotions for him. Don't be a spokesman for him or nothing, right? And then 5, 6, 7, 8 months down the road, this person sees you making a deal with me, some type of partnership. Me and you, now we're going into partnership together with our businesses. You don't think that that
Mhm.
person would think that you're a hypocrite if you told him not to deal with me and now you and I have this mega deal going?
Let me tell you something else. The person who orchestrated my exit from the military was the same person who orchestrated my deal with the military. The same person.
So when it comes to business, now I already know the answer to this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. When it comes to business, sometimes hypocrisy is just part of the game, right?
Hypocrisy is part of the game.
I know, because I've done some hypocritical shit in my shit too. I've done some hypocritical shit. I walked away from some deals. I walked away from contracts, and then a year down the road, I run into these same people, and they offer a better deal. They offer a more lucrative contract, and I go for it. So I mean, I know hypocrisy is part of the deal, but I think many of us don't understand. I think many of us are upset because Jay-Z's been making millions and millions of dollars for years. I mean, that's no secret, right? I think what really bothers people is the fact that he's making all this money, and now he's with, he signed this deal with the N.F.L. And I think people are looking for Jay-Z to freaking reach back more than he does. That's what I
He
think their real
shouldn't.
problem
He
is.
shouldn't. He shouldn't. I don't agree with him reaching back at this point. I don't. Other than offering scholarships, I don't agree with him reaching back either. He's in a different lane, man. Different lane. Like, I know people who work for the Pentagon, billion-dollar contractors. They discuss strategy with me and things that I can go after.
So what what can
Yes, can
I
you
mean,
still hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. You had like some type of feedback there for a minute, but I can hear you now. You still there, brother M.O.T?
Also,
We lose him, y'all. I think we lost him. Brother M.O.T. God damn it. Yeah, I think we lost him, y'all. Well, hopefully come back on. I mean, my whole thing is this. I mean, I don't really have a problem with what Jay-Z does. Like I said, the man's got millions and I guess now $1 billion. And he's going to do the things that people with millions and billions of dollars do. Make deals, cut deals, shit, cut folks' throats probably if you have to, because I don't think anybody has gotten rich without stepping on a few heads. I mean, that's just part of the deal, you know. That's just part of the deal. So me personally, I don't really have a problem with it, I mean, because I know in my business, I mean, I've had to make some, like I just got done telling brother M.O.T, I've had to make some hypocritical moves myself, you know. Brother M.O.T, you back?
yeah, I'm back.
Okay. No, I was just saying that, I've had to make some hypocritical moves myself, man, to push my business forward and, try to make some more money. I've had to do some things that I said I wasn't going to do. And then, a year later, 2 years later, I end up having to do it because doing that actually helped me, So it is what it is, man, you know.
And it's just that people don't understand long-term moves till 15 to 16 years later. And what people also don't realize is that Jay Z's moves, it may seem like they're Jay Z type moves, but they make it very clear that Dr. Dre can do the same shit. Um, Uncle Luke in Florida can do the same shit. E40 can do the same shit. Bone Thugs and Harmony, whoever run that shit can do the same shit. And anybody in New York can do the same shit. Because right now, syndication is what YouTube is. It's free syndication.
Mm-hmm. It
So
is.
when people So when people talk about, well, I wish we had, dude, you can do your own media right here. Pull in enough numbers. Them just gonna want to talk to you about everything, and you'll be protected from false flagging and everything else. Like I also found out that a couple of years ago, like a lawyer called me and told me, like, what he heard an interview that I did, he was like, the Manosphere needs to be a nonprofit organization.
Mm.
You see,
Well,
once you're a nonprofit organization, you are exempt from bullshit flagging, and they'll still advertise your channel.
mm. So if it was to go nonprofit here on YouTube, it'll be exempt from
Flagging.
flagging and all that. No
Hmm.
matter no matter what's said on there.
Yep. Wouldn't care.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. But see,
Okay.
that's the thing, man. It's so hard to kind of organize. It's hard to organize Negroes because that's one thing. That's one thing that Negroes lack is organization. we do lack organization. So I mean, that's going to be the hard part, man. That's the problem. Organizing it, man, getting people to organize around it. I mean, it's like because here lately, especially here on YouTube, man, there's been so much crazy shit going on. You know, it's the usual shit amplified by 10. Because there's always beefs, there's always problems. This one don't like this one. This one's talking shit about that one. This one's roasting this one. That shit always goes on. But here lately, it's been quite volatile, and at certain junctures of this game, man. And it's like a lot of this shit just confuses the hell out of me because I think that, you know, we have bigger problems as far as black folks go than each other, So, when I
Yeah.
see it, man, to me, it just seems strange that, we spend so much time, going at each other's throats and talking shit about each other and all that kind of shit. We spend so much time doing that. And I think that, if we are going to get on here, and speak our piece, you would think we could speak about a million other things as opposed to trying to go in and talk shit about somebody personally. I mean, because I talk shit too, all right, but I speak in generalities. I'll be the first one to say I generalize like a motherfucker up here. I mean, you're not going to hear me call nobody out personally, and say this to them and say that to them and talk all this kind of shit to them. I mean, that's not really my thing. I mean, I've done it in the past, but only when necessary. You know, I mean, I try not to go at people personally, man, because that's not really my stick, man. That's not the shit I want to be doing up here, you know. And you see a lot of that shit, man. You see a lot of people up here, they flashing people information, and they doxing people, and talking about their kids and their wife and their family and their this and their that. It's like, come on, man, really, really, you know?
I mean, but at the end of the day, when you step into the public arena, this is the type of shit you open yourself up to.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely,
Well,
absolutely.
like, like me, work for the federal government. So whenever somebody would call themselves doxing me, they get 25 years in prison.
Mm.
25, all 25.
Mm. He said, he said all 25.
Yeah,
You're gonna do every day.
every day. I will go to your personal uh, federal attorney in whatever county you're in, and I'll make sure you do every fucking second of that fucking time. But also,
Wow.
I don't go out fucking with people. This is why I debate concepts and principles, not people.
Yeah.
I don't go after people.
Yeah.
I don't need to. I mean, because their ideas are ridiculous enough that you don't have to go after people.
Hmm.
And here's the deal: if you're out here giving unlicensed information to give a specific level of result, That's not something that's constitutionally protected. The only thing that's constitutionally protected is actual speech that have actual backing with it, so that everything else that you do is considered entertainment outside of that, right? Like people don't understand that it takes nothing for a dating coach to be sued into the ground for a person practicing their information and they got a deleterious result. This person can come to YouTube and be like, you know what? I followed this person's advice on your platform, and now you own me because I ruined my life. See, people don't look at this shit like that when we're giving out this unlicensed information because that's what it is. So people don't understand that you could be in a lot of trouble having a track record of giving out unlicensed information. Unlicensed.
So do you see that as the next step? I mean, are you going to see that? I mean, people actually suing and
Yeah.
coming after people and,
No. They don't have to. It's just the arena will be like, look, if you do a coaching service of any sort of fashion, you have to be certified to do that. You can't create insecurities in men and then sell them an answer to it. I mean, like, this isn't religion. Religion is allowed to do that. People outside the religion's arena are not allowed to do that. And this is what people don't truly understand is that you're going to be in a lot of trouble giving out unlicensed information. Because all they got to do is take you to court and press play on a bunch of your videos, and you're going to be responsible for everything you said. Because everything you say online is considered a sworn statement, to include private messages on Facebook, messages on Twitter, and everything else. If you don't believe me, look at the guys who thought that they was going to threat a school shooting, and those guys are being charged with federal charges, all of them white. Why? They've been used to doing this stuff for years, but they ain't never been called out for it. It's only a second before it, it's actually going to be able to come down to the actual individual level. If you're not a licensed therapist of some sort of standard and you're giving unlicensed advice for people to follow and they end up ruining that stuff for them, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. This is why I'm sounding the warning alarm, not because I want the specific marketplace to return toward a state of normalcy. I'm telling you, by you making these statements online, they are considered sworn statements in court. They're going to play your words in front of you. If any person finds something wrong with what you say, they're going to treat that as a sworn statement, the things that you said online. They don't understand that.
Well, let me ask you this, brother M.O.T. Do you think that the very lack of understanding, does that, well, I know it hurts us, but does it hurt us to the point where it puts us at a disadvantage? Does it hurt us that much?
Well, I mean, you have to look at it this way. We know how each other act and we know how each other inform people. And then there's the legal standard. Once you get called by 3 names or 4 names if you have them, they don't care about what your understanding of things were or is. They're going to treat it as if you gave this information out as if this is your point of view.
Wow.
That's how it's treated. Like, there's people who private message people in jest and get years off of that statement. because they use that statement to make their entire case in courtrooms. This is why I want people to understand that these things can and will be used against you in the court of public opinion. They can and will be used against you. And unless you got enough money to go out and take the court of public opinion to court and bring it to the court of actual public record, that's the only way you're going to be able to correct that. But we know 99.99999% of black people are not willing to do that.
Well, I know tonight we were supposed to be talking about the J.Z.N.F.L. I guess I'm gonna have to end up changing the name of this because it don't look like Corey ass gonna show up. But we often have these kind of talks, okay, on media, about the shit people do, and the threats, and speech and all of that. And you hear people talk free speech, all the time. You always hear people talk free speech, and free speech is just that. But even with that, there's certain shit you can't say. You can't yell fire in a movie theater, that kind of shit. So have we gotten to a point where we want free speech? And I've talked about this before too. We want free speech as long as it's us doing the speaking.
Correct.
But when it's other people speaking, not so much. Not so much. That's why we flag people channels and do all kinds of crazy shit and talk shit to people because we don't like what they're saying, as opposed to just go ahead and turning their asses off. We want to we want to articulate our disdain with what this person is saying. So oftentimes we got this thing where free speech is good for me but not good for thee. So I mean, I think we as black folks, we need to get away from that shit. I think a lot of us are way too thin skinned, okay, to say the least. I think many of us are way too emotional, and I think a lot of us are way too wrapped up in this YouTube shit.
Yeah, because people want to make a response right away. That are outside the realms of legal ramifications. That they don't understand that when you are responding to somebody, you're making a legal statement under oath on tape. They're going to treat that shit as a confession. No matter what it is, it could be spun 30 ways from Sunday. They don't understand that when you make a statement online, it's considered a sworn statement. It's considered actual testimony.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what it's considered. So when people don't get that, sometimes you need to hold it down hand and speak to people offline, which can still be recorded. At least you have intent recorded. Popping off at the mouth, releasing some shit online. Intent is not even a part of the deal. Now you have to pay that person doubly so over some stuff you said. And most people, they don't want to understand or get that you don't have a right to respond or say stupid shit to every single person you meet online. You just don't. This is why you go after their concepts, not the person itself. This is why I routinely go after the concepts, not the people, because the people have interests that they need to protect. They have books, they have CDs, they have a whole bunch of shit that wants to keep this system in place. But if you are a normal everyday citizen who's a critic of their said circumstance, what you have to be able to do is legally find the ramifications that you can go after said person and not even bring their name up or their video up or nothing else. But see, a lot of people don't want to do that because we're in this roast culture to where everybody wants to do shit quick, fast, in a hurry, and right away. It don't work like that, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, we are in this damn roast culture where everything is a roast. I must roast you. Even if you're not roasting me, I must roast you. That's how that's how I get my shit off. I get my shit off by roasting you and talking shit about you, and having everybody in my damn chat room talk shit about you too. So I mean, it's just crazy, man. And a lot of us, man, quite frankly, we just too old for this kind of shit, man. I know I am. All right. I'm too old to be, going back and forth with people, man. And they make a video, then I make a video. Then, man, I ain't got time for that shit. I ain't got time for that shit, man. You know, that's kiddie shit, man. It's schoolyard shit, you know.
But, shout out to Shaw Willis. She need to actually do far more shows than she actually doing because I enjoy them all.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, but at the end of the day, people just do not understand that you don't have the constitutional right to damage someone's brand. Some people may think having their bullshit challenge is actually damaging to their brand. That's not damaging to your brand. Like you have to be able to come out and find conclusive results that are opposite of what's being presented. And that's not hating, that's not anything else. It's just actual pointing out facts and fiction.
But I mean, is that the thing though? I mean, don't you have to have a brand though, right? You have to have an established brand to for people to to hurt it, or you know causes some type of distress, or damage it. You have to have an established brand?
No. You don't need to establish trademark, slogan mark, or anything else.
Mm,
Let's say, let's just use Shaw Willie as an actual example. Let's say that I did not like Shaw Willie at all. And I went on my platform and decided that I did not like what Shaw Willie said on this particular specific moment and time, and I don't want you to subscribe to her channel. She could actually do actual numbers and be like, well, because this person said this on this point in time and this day, not like she needs to, that this person who has this sort of platform tried to diminish my platform by saying X over X period of time. This is the advertisement revenue that I did not get because of this person's statement. And because she thought that I did damage to her brand, she could sue me for XYZ amount of dollars over XYZ amount of time. You see, most people on YouTube, they do not understand that that is actually how legally things work. This is why people who routinely have problems with Donald Trump even end up apologizing to him after a while because he got the lawyers in place that's going to be able to protect his ability to criticize an image. But when you try to attack people who are several higher levels than you have to realize that you're not going to be able to win that fight, not all the time.
mm,
And most of those fights are going to be waged and won without stepping into a courtroom.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, I just got a message from Brother Haywood, y'all. He's saying it's not working. You're not using Google Hangouts anymore. No, there is no more Google Hangouts, Corey. Let me hold up. Go ahead and rock out, M.O.T. Let me write Corey back. Go ahead, finish what you were saying. Let me write him
Yes, and
back.
that's what I'm saying. It's just that when you challenge somebody's platform online,
Did we lose Brother M.O.T. again? damn it. Brother M.O.T. Damn, I think we lost him again. God damn it.
Yeah, somebody just called me again. Hold on a second.
No. Yeah, brother Haywood's hit me up, y'all, now. After I had changed. Y'all see up there where I changed it to the hours of power with M.O.T. because I thought Brother Haywood wasn't coming. Now I got to change the shit back. Right him, let him know. He talking about hangout shit. Hangouts ain't no more, brother. This the new hangouts now. This is the new hangouts, Brother Haywood. He writing me, oh man, actually don't use hangouts anymore. No one does. No one does, Brother Haywood. No one uses hangouts anymore. Well, I guess he gonna try to come on, y'all. Y'all see down there, right? Y'all looking down there, right? Y'all see during the stream, I have actually changed this shit. See it? See it down there? I done changed the shit. Well, I'll change it back. If he comes on, I'll change it back. Right now, I guess he's trying to figure out how to get on. I don't know. But if he come back on, I'll change it back to the hours of power with Brother Haywood. Because, we don't care. Because, that's how we do it here on the old.
Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power.
Yeah. That's how we do it, y'all. That's how we do it. I'm just glad I finally figured out how to use this shit. I had a good idea how to use it, but I hadn't did any test runs on it. I've been doing some test runs on the Zoom shit too. I think I'm gonna go ahead and buy it because I like it. I actually like, I like the setup of it. I like the user functions on it. I wanted to try it out on the free, the free shit first because they got the free one, then they got the $20 one, then they got like the $39 one. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get the $20 one and shit because $20 a month ain't a lot. That's not a lot. Brother James, you funny, man. He said, I gotta put this comment up. Brother James said, is he still using dial-up or Windows 95? Motherfucker still using Windows 95 and shit. I don't know. Brother James. He might be. He might be, man. Shit. He might be using Vista, or what's that other one they had? God, I hated it too, man. What the hell was that that Windows, man? I hated that version of Windows, man. I'm trying to think, man. I hated that version. That version couldn't do jack, man. I mean, I'm talking about Vista. Vista was actually pretty good. I actually liked Vista. Vista was actually pretty good, man. I liked Vista when it was out. I use I'm using 10 now. Yeah, I think this is Windows 10. I think. I'm not even sure. It came with the computer when I bought it. So, those are the versions that I use the most. I mean, I use Windows. This is Windows 10 on here. And my other computers got Windows 8.1 or some shit like that. Yeah, XP. There you go, brother Steve, the real one. XP. XP was garbage, man. That shit was garbage. That shit was garbage. Somebody had gave me a computer back then, man. brand new with that XP shit on it. And man, let me tell you something. I think I used that computer for maybe a month. I was like, man, I went right back to using goddamn Vista, man. Vista was better to me. That XP shit was garbage. That shit was garbage. Good look on that, Steve. Because goddamn it, I couldn't even remember that shit. Yeah, that shit was straight garbage. Man, that shit was garbage. For real. Brother M.O.T, you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, he
Can you hear
back.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's just that, man. It's just that people don't understand the limits of the law when they go to criticizing people, and that's where we're at. Because people think like, oh, I just roast you, I just down you. Like, yeah, but the person got a brand and they sell products. Dude, you just did financial damage to an actual company. Nobody gives a shit about your philosophical beef, as it would,
Mm,
right? And they don't understand that they have no respect for people who are not media companies who challenge these type of things in court. Like, we're like, I'm a citizen journalist, or I could do XYZ type of thing. They don't really care about the kind of stuff. They're like, okay, how much money do you have, and how much money do you have to protect your opinion?
mm,
So if you don't have any money to protect your opinion, you're pretty much screwed when it comes to any type of level of thinking, because you are letting telegraphing and letting people know that I'm just a singular person, and I don't even want to give up my personal information to to even try to protect my claims that I made during my podcast, YouTube, letter, whatever you get, community posts. But that's what's the most respected. Is the thing that's most protected under the First Amendment. People can come out here and quite literally destroy your reputation, and it's completely fine because that's what the First Amendment allows. But if you're not a big company, that's how you get hit with them libel and slander charges
mm.
because you don't have enough money to protect your point of view. And a lot of people learn that out the hard way. They're like, "Oh man, I thought I could say whatever I want to." Yeah, but you have to be able to get the court to have court apply to you. But if you don't have enough resources to even reach the point to where you can be able to negotiate a deal for you to step away, then it don't exist, period. Like, a lot of people think that the court gives a damn about your ability to challenge multi-million-dollar companies. So they don't care about that. They're gonna side with them companies all day. Why? Most things in their house are funded by those people who already pay for that type of protection. They know that they'll get that type of protection from the everyday citizen because if they did, they would respect them more. But they know at the end of the day that the average citizen don't care about the average other person. And that's where we're at, man. It's not hard to figure out or find out.
Yeah. I think often, man, I think we kind of underestimate, we underestimate the power of our words. I know I do. That's why I say we, because my black ass is included in it too. I think we underestimate the power of our words sometimes, you know, and not only do we underestimate the power of our words, I think sometimes many of us we freaking overestimate the power of our words. So it's like a catch 22. I think the thing is to be right there in the middle somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Don't overestimate the power of your words too much, and don't underestimate the power of your words too much, and just kind of hover right there in the middle. I think you'll be all right. So, you know, I think you'll be
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. I mean, because most people don't understand that your unqualified, unconstitutionally protected opinion can easily be weighted out through the money that it takes to file for your actual case in the criminal justice system. And they already know this. It's just that a lot of people don't understand that you could be in a lot of trouble even speaking on something that you have no idea about. And you need to be able to trust and provide proof that you know XYZ thing at XYZ time, or you can cost a lot of people a lot of money based on your advice, right? So that's where we're at, man.
So, what do you think is? Let's talk about, because we all, we all on YouTube and shit. This is the medium of choice for most of us. The majority of us, this is our medium of choice to do these live streams. And used to be, hangouts, and now, we got this, all this other shit. We got Zoom and StreamYard and everybody else now. So this is kind of what we've been using for a number of years. This is what we've been using to kind of get on here and exchange ideas and talk shit, roast folks, talk shit about people's families and kids and wives and all that kind of stuff. So, what do you think? What do you think the future of this whole YouTube thing is going to be, as far as black people and particularly black men? What do you think is going to turn into eventually? Where's it going?
Well, at the end of the day, people are gonna leave this entertainment shit alone, and they're gonna be able to realize that chasing after non-select women, which is women who you should never be dating in the first place, with your so-called game. Like, dude, listen. At the end of the day, you need to be able to focus on yourself and withdraw for this specific and particular situation that you're in. You need to be able to walk away from landings quite quickly rather than wait till the rising tide come at your feet before you decide to want to do something. Black men just have to know that, dude, there is a lot of things you can do to make it in this world. And sitting here focused on a non-select woman, it is not one of those things. That's all I got on that.
Yeah, I mean, shit. That's what has gotten us to where we are. But people will push back on that. And because I've had people push back on me, because I talk this kind of shit, to the people that I know and shit like that. And I've said many a times, that I tell women that I know who already got a bunch of kids and shit like that. I'm like, look here, girl, you probably need to be more focused on taking care of these kids that you got than running, ripping, and trying to find the next dude to lay down with. And the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, oh, what we don't deserve relationships, we don't deserve love. And I always say, it's not it's not about whether or not you deserve anything. I mean, I don't think anyone quote unquote deserves love or deserves a relationship. The thing is, what's more prudent, what's more of a priority in your life. I think that's what it comes down to. I think that you know we are people, we have a lot of people amongst us that feel really, really entitled. I think that's a problem too, where we walk around talking about what we deserve. I think that ain't necessarily a word many of us use in the right context, because in most examples, when I hear people using it, it doesn't even apply to the damn conversation, or the context in which we're speaking. So, the whole we deserve this shit. I mean, I've never really followed that line of thinking or that line of reasoning, because I feel like I deserve whatever I've worked for, whatever I've earned, whatever I've sweated for. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I think I deserve. I don't think I deserve too much more outside of that.
Yeah, I just don't understand how it is that people can be caught up in this predictable trap over and over again. Like me personally, I don't think the marketplace is a problem. I think the market is the problem. It's just that we expect black men to give up the king's ransom for the manager's special. And that's totally acceptable within black society, which is absolutely insane.
It's absolutely insane. Yeah, man. I mean, because a lot of the shit you hear, man, not only is it a lot of the shit that you hear, not only is it not feasible, a lot of the shit you hear isn't even possible. I mean, it's not feasible or possible. And you're like, what the hell are these people talking about, man? This is fantasy shit, man. This is fantasy island. This is tattoo and Mr. Rourke, the plane type shit, man. Like, what are these people
Yes.
talking about?
I mean, but it is though. And there's nothing wrong with looking at the game for what it is. There's a hell of a lot wrong with jumping in at the least effort of ignorance and trying to terraform that to your actual will. Then it's not your will; it's the city's will.
Do you think that we've gotten smarter as a people, man? Do you think we've gotten smarter?
I think that right now we have a hell of a lot more media presence than we obviously have had in the past. While I can't say we've progressed along the same lines, I say new people are cropping up every day. And that's the way it is.
No, man. I just, sometimes, because when I think about how things are for certain people, you know, I mean, we we often talk from struggle mountain. I mean, everybody wants to play the struggle card. Everybody wants to talk from struggle mountain. They want to talk about, the people who are in the struggle. I guess because we're all kind of connected to people who are in the struggle. But statistics say that, 7 out of 10 of us are not struggling. 7 out of 10 of us are not broke and poor and eating roaches and shit like that. I mean, it's not the majority of us. So when we talk about this kind of stuff, I mean, why is it always from a point of struggle? It's always from a point of, we struggling, we ain't got money, the white man keeping us in the projects and all this kind of nonsense. And most of the people that come on here and talk about that shit, man, those people ain't struggling. Of course, there's a few, people, that's living in their mom's attic and that kind of shit. But I mean, the overwhelming majority, especially when you talk about black men, because black men are doing better than they've ever done. So why do you think that everybody wants to talk? Everybody wants to kind of, embrace the struggle and talk like they are the ones struggling. Why do you think we do that shit?
Anybody want to go first before me?
There's no one else here. Why do you think that is, man? Why do we all talk from Struggle Mountain, man, like we all standing on Struggle Mountain when we know that's not true?
Yeah.
I mean, I listen to some of these people talk, man, and a lot of times people talk like we all struggling. We all broke. We all live with our mama, okay? We all on the cheese line. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is how you hear people talk at times. Like, come on, man. All of us aren't all of us aren't living on struggle mountain, man. That's just not true. And it's almost as if people they have a problem with the fact that all of us aren't living on struggle mountain. They have a problem with that. they have a problem with the fact that we're not all living on Struggle Mountain. Like, come on, man. I mean, I thought that this is what it was ultimately about, you know, the overwhelming majority of us not being on Struggle Mountain. Is M.O.T snoring up on here? I'm going to mute him. Yeah, he done went to snoring on here. Maybe he's got narcoleptic syndrome or something. But brother M.O.T up here snoring. But yeah, I mean, we have a tendency, man, to freaking talk like, you know, we all struggling. We all freaking on welfare. I mean, we all broke. We all live with our mama. We all, and it's just not true, man. It's just not true. It's not. I mean, and why we um why we often take that position, I don't understand, man. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I don't get why we have to embrace this struggle shit, man. You know? I mean, I'm pretty sure many of us we've had our struggles. You know, I mean, I didn't struggle growing up. You know, I lived with working class parents. You know, both of my parents worked, you know, and did what they had to do. You know, my mom's was a school bus driver. She retired as a school bus driver. My pops, you know, he had his own landscaping business. He was a landscape architect. So I didn't grow up in struggle, you know. I mean, I didn't start struggling till I left home. That's when I started seeing struggle. when I moved out of when I moved out of my parents' house, that's when the damn struggling. Those were the struggle days, god damn it. Yeah, boy, those were the struggle days. All right. Shit, I had plenty of struggle days, boy, when I moved out of their crib. But I mean, my life hasn't been this ongoing struggle. And that's when I was younger and stupid. You know what I'm saying? That's when I was a lot younger and knew a lot less. You know, by the time I got to be older, you know, and started having kids and shit like that, I had kind of, you know, figured it out, man. I kind of figured out that, you know, that struggle shit ain't what it's about. It ain't about fucking living in the projects. It ain't about living in the hood and being broke. And no, all right. Now people will tell you, you know, that you don't understand blackness unless you understand, you know, if you not being black, if you're not understanding or being a part of this whole struggle shit and being able to relate to it. I'm sure many of us can relate to it, and many of us probably came from it. But I always thought the goal was to kind of get away from the struggle, not embrace the struggle or run toward the struggle. I always thought that getting away from the struggle was the ultimate goal. It's like if you don't show solidarity, you know, with struggling and being hungry and not having no money and fucking living in dire straits and, you know, living from pillar to post and hand to mouth, it's like you know, you don't understand blackness. You don't, come on, man. There's millions of different kind of black people in this damn world. Like, you know, I don't think one thing or another makes you more blacker. Uh-oh, there he is. There he is.
I don't know
There
what
he
happened.
is. What's good, Brother Haywood?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
It's all good. And then hold on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I can hear you.
I know you probably didn't realize, but Hangouts, man, they ended that like August 1st. They
Oh,
got
really?
rid of it. Yeah. So now we got to use OBS and StreamYard and Zoom and all this other kind of nonsense now.
Oh, damn. That's crazy.
Yeah, but you can do all this jazzy stuff with it, you know, change the screens, you know, change the positions, you know, you can do all this crazy kind of stuff with it now. So I actually kind of like it. Now that I figured
Well,
out how to
you,
use it.
yeah, I know. It took me a little while to get it going myself.
But now that you here, because I had M.O.T here, but I don't know what the hell happened to him. I don't know if he fell asleep or what. But now that you here, I guess we can go ahead because I had changed the name of the stream and the whole shit, Brother Haywood. I was like, Brother Haywood ass ain't coming.
No, man. No, I'm not tech savvy at all. I think that's the problem.
So let me put your name back on the headline and shit.
I appreciate that.
Let me put your name back
Oh
on it.
shit.
So what's good, man? What's going on, man? You hit me up and you was like,
Yes.
come on, X, let's talk this J.Z. shit. So what's on your mind, brother? Pull the trigger. You know it's no holds barred here, man. No
Oh, I know
censorship.
that. I know that. Here's the thing with Jay-Z. So you have two schools of thought, right? On one hand, you might look at him as a sellout, considering that I think it was last year he asked Travis Scott not to perform during the Super Bowl halftime show. From what I understand, he also convinced Jermaine Dupri not to enter the same partnership with the NFL that he is currently entering. And in his music, he has made references to the NFL on numerous occasions. And in most cases, his comments and his remarks have been negative. So he is going on record to condemn the NFL for its, um, I guess you can say, um, inability to bring attention to the issues that affect African Americans most. And as you know, the NFL is a predominantly black league. So Jay Z has been more than vocal about that. Then on the other hand, you can look at it like this: well, Jay Z don't owe shit to black people. He's a capitalist at the end of the day. He's a businessman. He's called himself a businessman on a number of occasions, and so he had an opportunity, man, to like I said, build his empire or expand his empire by entering this deal with the NFL. And it looks to me like a case of a man who wants to make his wallet even fatter. And I'm sure that these white men thought to themselves, well, hey, let's offer this nigga a 9-figure check and make him dance. And that's exactly what happened. So, I mean, you can look at Jay Z as a sellout or a capitalist. Either way, I think black people should stop elevating people like Jay Z to um, this pedestal. It seems like we are craving or starving for a leader, a savior of some kind, to lead us out of darkness into the promised land. That shit died with Martin Luther King. It's over with. Jay Z is not that guy. Oprah is not going to play that role. We need to start looking to ourselves to improve our own conditions and our own futures, and stop waiting for people like Jay Z again to lead us out of darkness. And he is a prime example again of a black man who has accomplished some things in his life or in his field, and all of a sudden we feel like, well, he's one of us, or he should be representing our interests. No, he represents his own interests and those of his family. And I think black people are getting caught up, you know, in that narrative, and it needs to stop.
Yeah, well, I was just talking about this with brother M.O.T earlier before you came on. I mean, the man makes millions and millions and millions of dollars. So it's like this is what people who make millions and millions of dollars do. So I think the greater problem that people have with Jay-Z is I think he's been accused of not doing enough, for the hood, for black folks, for Brooklyn, if you will. I think they have. I think that's the underlying problem, and that's why they. I mean, the hypocrisy is one thing. Okay, I mean, one thing we got to know. Let's be clear. Jay-Z don't give a fuck about the average man. Okay, I mean, come
Of
on.
course
He's in a
not.
higher tax bracket than most of us. He could care less. He's a billionaire, millionaire, whatever. He don't care about the average common man. Forget about it. But that being said, I think people look at him. They're like, this is a brother that came from Brooklyn. He came from the hood. He made it big in rap. He's record executive and he's doing all this kind of stuff. He's making all this kind of money, and they feel like not only is he a hypocrite because, like you said, he did tell other entertainers not to get involved with the NFL, but here he is now in some mega deal with the NFL. So I think that the people have the problem with the hypocrisy, and they also have the problem with the fact that I think it really bothers people that Jay-Z doesn't do more for people, particularly people like from the hood, from Brooklyn or, wherever. I think that's where the problem really lies. I think this is just a vice to kind of vent their frustrations with him.
Well, has he ever really been a man of high moral fiber or character? Let's look at his history, right? Jay-Z is going on record bragging about his past as a drug dealer, right? Okay, let's check that box. Jay-Z, now, of course, this wasn't confirmed, but many credible sources confirmed that Jay-Z did cheat on Beyonce, not once, not twice, but on multiple occasions. So he's also a cheater. Check that box as well. According to Kanye West and Damon Dash and or Dame Dash and some of his other former friends and affiliates, he has ultimately snaked them out of money, out of opportunities. He's been a turncoat, and he's been ultimately untrustworthy to his own camp, his own people. So let's check that box as well. Jay-Z has not demonstrated um, the behavior that would merit anyone looking to him for any type of guidance or leadership in a positive way. All he has done throughout his career, and he even said, I'm not a conscious rapper. This man raps about drugs, bitches, hoes, and money. He always has, from Big Pimpin' to some of his other music, either whether it be in the 90s or early 2000s or currently, he has only rapped about those topics. Why would anyone expect him to be a civil activist of any kind or an advocate for change in the black community? He has never, ever even tried to portray himself as that. We put him in that position because, again, we're starving for someone to step up and to take the mantle that King and X and all of these other civil rights leaders left behind. But ultimately, Jay-Z is not that guy. And it confuses me when we look to people like him and Meek Mill and P. Diddy and some of these other cats. Why do we expect these men to do anything more than what's best for themselves and their bottom line? It makes absolutely no sense to me. And again, he hasn't demonstrated a morsel, a modicum of character, of high moral fiber at all. So I'm not surprised by his decision. And quite frankly, depending on how much they offered him, I'm pretty sure it was a hefty amount of money. He's set up for life. The artist that he signed to Roc Nation will also be set up for life. From what I understand, the deal consists of him and Roc Nation overseeing all of the musical content, all of the events that the NFL will hold in the near future. They will be over the musical element of the NFL. And that gives him a tremendous amount of influence within his own field. Why wouldn't he take the deal?
Yeah. I mean, being a hypocrite sometimes is part of business, I guess. I spoke about that earlier. Sometimes, you have to double back, and do a deal that you probably wouldn't have did 5 years ago because now the deal is more lucrative and also puts you in a better position now, as opposed to where it would have put you 5 years ago. So that part I understand because I've been through that shit too. I've walked away from contracts and all that kind of shit, because at the time it just didn't seem prudent, to enter into it in the first place. And then I've come back, across these same associates and they're offering more and they're offering a better deal. And I find myself, back to where they are, back doing business with these folks because now, this deal will help me where I am now, as opposed to it helping me, a couple years back. So I understand that part of it. I mean, and me personally, I'm not really that upset with it. Of course, it seems a little hypocritical and all of that because he told others not to be involved with the NFL, and here he is involved with the NFL. So, I mean, of course, it seems a little hypocritical, but at the end of the day, I mean, he is a businessman, and business is business, and that's it.
Let's talk about that too. I mean, look at his wife. Same Same type of person, an opportunist, a capitalist. She came out with an album, and about 60, 70% of the album consisted of her pretending to be a broken woman who was cheated on by her husband, and now she's scorned, and she's decided to walk away and to be independent and self-sufficient. She doesn't need a man, right, who would cheat on her and treat her that way. And she comes out with an album with several songs that ultimately focus on that premise. And you had black women all over the country and probably around the world listening to that music, internalizing that music, and then ultimately displaying the same type of behavior. Little do these women know at the time, Beyonce was still married, was still a mom, was still a wife. So she manipulated the sensitivity level and the sensibilities and the bitterness and the hatred that black women in general have for, you know, their former lovers or their baby daddies. She capitalized on that as well. Hypocritical. How can you dedicate an album to that shit when you aren't really about that shit? That's not your life. That's not who you are. And black women ate that shit up. So all I'm saying to you is that Jay-Z and Beyonce are masters of manipulation. And that is why Beyonce in particular is worth $500 million, and Jay-Z has just reached billionaire status. It's because they have made a career out of manipulating narratives that have existed for decades. And what they do is they put their own spin to these narratives, right, to generate more income for themselves. And while they're counting their money, laughing in the privacy of their multi-million-dollar homes, people like us are wondering, well, how could they betray their own community? Well, nigga, it's because they really were never part of the community in the first place. They used you niggas.
There
That's
it
really
is.
what that shit is.
There it is. There it is. They haven't been part of a quote unquote community with other folks for quite some time. They're not part of your quote unquote community, you know. And I think we get that shit twisted up, man. We think everybody black is in the black community. That's BS, man. It's BS. It's not
Yeah,
true.
it's not true. And you know, I'm sort of I'm changing, I'm shifting directions here, but ultimately I'll circle back. It's like there are so many millions of black people in this country, and I wish that we just knew better. Many of us do, but many of us don't. What I mean by that is this, man. We have the power to completely change our circumstances. We don't need any one person or any group of people or organization to help us do that. We are perfectly capable individually of changing our own conditions, changing our destiny, changing our status in life. But niggas just keep on doing nigga shit. And now you knew I was going to, you know, this part of me was going to come out. I couldn't
Oh
stay
yeah.
civilized for too long.
Oh yeah, I know.
I,
But
I,
let it rip. Pull the trigger. Pull the trigger.
I was shocked and disappointed when I discovered that Popeyes released a new chicken sandwich, and that niggas across the country were practically running over each other to get a taste of some goddamn chicken. Okay, I'm talking lines out the door, chicken sandwiches sold out on websites. These niggas are beating down the doors of any Popeyes they can find to get their hands on some fucking chicken. But I guarantee you, if you put a voting booth in the middle of the ghetto, if a local politician held a press conference or a town hall meeting in the ghetto, you would hear crickets. Niggas show up in droves for chicken. But when it comes to issues that actually matter, events that actually matter, you don't see a nigga for miles. And that is ridiculous. And so when you get upset about your conditions or about your status or your position in life, it's because you have failed. Not all, but many black people have simply failed to hold themselves accountable for the stupid decisions they make. Once again, in droves, running to the nearest Popeye's chicken to get a sandwich, but you would never catch them voting for any local laws or initiatives that are taking place. You would never see them at a rally or press conference or a town hall to support their local politicians, to actually participate in the voting process to make sustainable change in their communities. You will never catch them within miles of any of these things. But when it comes to getting they ashy black hands on some fucking chicken, they show up by the dozens. And that sickens me. So I don't give a fuck what they think about Jay-Z.
I tell you another one. Shit, man. I've seen since I've been living down here, because I've been living down in the South for 5 years now, before I came from New York. And I've seen people line up for iPhones where the line's around the block. The new Jordans, the damn line is around the damn block. But you never see them lined up around the block to go to the parent-teacher meeting. You never see them lined up around the goddamn block. Because down here they have like these, they have like a lot of school, I guess they're tutoring centers. They're learning centers where kids can get, extra help. And a lot of those places, they don't even charge you. You can actually put your kid in there for free. I mean, because my wife's a medical esthetician, and her practice is right next to one of those. Man, I never see a line, goddamn, at that thing, man. And they'll take your kid for free. If he need extra help and shit, they'll bring it right in there for free. Man, every time I go up to my wife's freaking place, and because I have to walk past, the learning center, to get to her place, man, that shit be empty. That shit be empty. There'd be like one or two kids in there and shit. I'm like, damn, they giving this shit away for free, and you mean to tell me you fools won't bring your dumb ass kids in here and let them get some extra help so they can learn how to read and write and shit?
They're too busy getting chicken.
They're Popeyes.
Okay? Job fair, empty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They have a lot of them shits down here too. Man, listen, you don't see. I don't know why we're like that, man. And I hate to say this shit, man, but I think we are so goddamn focused on BS, Brother Haywood.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
BS, man. That's
of course.
Straight BS.
Absolutely. And then what we do is when a public figure like Jay-Z appears to slip up, we point our fingers at him so that we don't have to point fingers at ourselves. We would rather turn a mirror to someone else than look at that mirror and really take inventory of the decisions that we make on a daily basis. It's much easier to condemn someone else. And so if you're Jay-Z, you know that because one day you're the hero, the next day you're the villain. So in his case, he's probably thinking, well, no matter what I do, these niggas will still be niggas at the end of the day. I'ma always be Jay-Z. Right? And the funny thing is, let this shit blow over. Because for years, decades, we knew R. Kelly was fondling underage girls, messing around with teenagers. We knew it. We still listen to his music. So I'm pretty sure.
Fondling them. He was fucking them.
He was
fondling them. He was fucking them.
You still heard I Believe I Can Fly at every black elementary school graduation all over the country. So if we could forgive R. Kelly for being a rapist, let's just be honest. I mean, the evidence has completely proven it, but I think we've seen enough to know. Yeah, the man is kind of disgusting. If we could forgive him for that, I'm pretty sure Jay-Z will be forgiven for partnering with the NFL. It'll blow over. He'll come out with an album, and then niggas will line up to buy that too. So they'll have the album and the fried chicken.
Yeah, ultimately that's what it's gonna be. I mean, we'll try to freaking pretend, like, it's more than what it is. But I mean, we have to realize, man, that this type of shit always does blow over, man. It always blows over in the end, man. We give it more meaning in the beginning than what it really deserves, man. We really do. We give it more meaning than what it deserves, man. Well, maybe it means more, Brother Haywood, to us than it's supposed to. Maybe that's what it really is. It means more to us than it's supposed to mean to us. What you think?
Well, I think you're absolutely correct. Again, people who don't have a purpose in life are always searching to be part of something bigger than themselves, right? And so when they think they found that thing, Jay-Z represents freedom to so many young African American men and women who listen to his music, right? He is a symbol of financial freedom for all of these cats. And that's what he preaches, right? In his lyrics, he preaches about financial freedom, right? Owning your own, having your own business, being an entrepreneur. Um, and so he represents, a concept that young African American people have been chasing for so many years. And that's why he's revered and respected and adored and admired within the black community and around the world because he represents an idea. And I think many people um, view his partnership with the NFL ultimately as an act of betrayal. Because as you know, the NFL is still controlled by a bunch of old, rich white men, right? So he's getting in bed with a bunch of old fucking white dinosaurs, the enemy, so to speak. And so it hurts a lot of people's feelings when they think about it that way. But I would caution black people to reconsider how they feel about Jay-Z because these are my thoughts. First of all, the NFL has been employing black men for decades, right?
True.
It is predominantly black league. So if Jay-Z is a sellout because I'm gonna tell you why black people are mad too. And I put this on Facebook. The reason why black people are mad is because Jay-Z's check from the white man is bigger than their check from the white man. We all getting paid from the white man at the end of the day. I've been a sellout since 2006. I've been working for white people for years.
Well, people are mad with him because they feel like he's jumped in, he's jumped into the pot with a bunch of rich white men. But isn't that what he was doing in the music industry? I mean, because don't they control the music industry? So, I mean,
isn't
what's
that what
the
we do every
difference?
day? If you are a black man or a black woman in the corporate world and you are scratching and clawing to climb the corporate ladder to success, are you not getting in bed with the quote unquote powers that be? Are you not chasing the all American dollar? Right? It's not as if these people are working for black organizations. Fortune 500 companies are owned and operated by white people primarily. So if you're African American and if you're trying to get ahead in corporate America, guess what? You're working for the white man too. You're also a sellout, nigga.
We're all just a band of sellouts.
Pretty much. Pretty much from the top to the bottom. We all working for the white
A
man.
bunch of
Just
damn Sambos.
pretty much. And this is what's funny, man. This is what's funny, man. It's like you complain about the NFL. LeVar Ball, bless his heart, he probably went about it the wrong way, but he tried to start his own basketball league. How many niggas got on board with that? Nobody. We laughed at him because we knew it would fail. In our hearts, we knew, okay, this shit ain't gonna work. Anytime a black man or a black woman attempts to create a league or an organization that empowers other black people, we tend to ignore it because there are so many white organizations established throughout this country that we know and trust that we can't even give our money or our time or our energy to a black organization because we have been conditioned not to trust black organizations. And for good reason. I mean, the NAACP to me is a joke. But at the same time, rather than complain about the NFL, why aren't the Jay-Z's and the Oprahs and the some of the other black entrepreneurs and celebrities and entertainers of the world, why aren't they pooling their resources to create leagues and organizations that empower and showcase the talents of African American people? We aren't doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's how you effect sustainable change. Real change is by creating for your own people, not by joining them. Because Malcolm X said it best. The moment they put their money in your pocket, they feel like they have a say in what you do.
Mm. Can't disagree with that. Well, we done been joined by Brother B.M.T. Brother B.M.T, what's good, man?
What's going on? What's going on, X? Good to be here. You know what I'm saying? You caught me at the right time, so you know what I'm saying. I gotta definitely be here in a number, um, be here in a number for a lot of this stuff and have a talk. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
that's
what's your take on this whole? And I got my man Cory Haywood on the line as well. Um, what's your whole take, man, on it? I think you did something on this J.Z.N.F.L thing, didn't you?
Yep. Yep. I'm more covered over this thing than most content creators. I've been following this thing. First off, Jay-Z took the deal. Oh well, it's only natural. He told you what he was. He told you what he was going to do. This is called self-preservation. This man said. This man told y'all. Like we've done far moved past this thing. Like first of all, it's the Rock Nation deal, where it makes sure that any type of halftime show or game, a minority gets looked at to get to play into this. So they get to make that type of call. But I guess, you know what I'm saying, that's something that, yeah, he's doing that. I don't got no problem with Jay-Z doing this because, I mean, let's be for real. If he don't do it, somebody else going to do it. Y'all be mad if doggone Alvarez, if he becomes a billionaire, he do it. So then you get a Latino billionaire, he does the damn thing. What y'all going to say then? Y'all gonna get mad when somebody else step in. So because you got a black man that's doing it and you feel like, well, I can't believe he did it. But see, then I don't know. It's like I start to understand that I'm not gonna keep on trying to appease every black person. I'm gonna do what I need to do to make sure that we grow. You know, this is the thing about we talk about we need a black representation. We want black billionaires. We want black success. We want this and that. But then when somebody's actually doing it, you don't like the ending results of how they're getting up there. Like we gotta understand, this is why people always get to step over the black man. Because you think that you keep playing by the rules. It don't work like that. It's a doggy dog fight. And this is what's going on. We're not going to pretend like Kaepernick didn't take the check. We're not going to pretend like the NFL coalition of black men, they didn't get paid a check. See, we don't like talking about that, that they weren't taking their checks. So, see, when we start turning a blind eye to that, we're not going to pretend like LeVar Ball, he wasn't cooking, he wasn't using that league to help his boys get into the NBA. Wait, so how are you going to talk about you trying to do your own league thing, but then we got black young boys who are joining, they're not getting paid like they're supposed to, as well as, you trying to get your boys into the Los Angeles Lakers, which is owned by a white man. So that's pretty much contradictory that if you believed in your league, why are you trying to get your boys into the white man's league? It seemed like you were just using that as an investment. And I mean, hey, I get it. You're doing what you got to do. But then even his own son, Lonzo Ball, he's dropping Big Baller Brand. Why? Because he was like, listen, you trying to live this thing through me. And you're not going to use my name, but you're not going to use my name. That's the thing. That's why Big Baller Brand is pretty much going away, because he hired a black man who had a felony, and they kind of head off with the money. Plus, also he kind of put his foot in his mouth in a few doggone interviews, got in trouble, and got butt back. These kind of things happen, but they're not good practices with black men. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see nobody big up and praising doggone Ice Cube. Ice Cube tried to buy some stations. You know what I'm saying? How many black men would have been happy if he would have got that? Or when we also look at it, where he got the big three. That's that, and he's taking retired basketball players, and he's doing his own thing, and he's been doing that for a while. So we're not gonna pretend like we're not seeing brothers who are doing these things and who are trying to make moves. It's just the thing about it is people don't like it when certain black people start making moves or start making come-ups. But if they don't do it with your permission, that's a problem. And you see, I have a problem with that, because then when it comes time to doing the work, Prophet, they go ghost. When it comes time to putting in the money, they get quiet. When it comes time, everybody knows how to tell the black man how to spend their money. But then these niggas go ghost when it comes time for the investing, time for the building, time for the tutelage time. They don't want to show up. So I'm like, we ain't gonna do this hypocritical come to Jesus moment, because everybody, we don't play like that. That's not reasonable. So I'm because I get it. Y'all saying that he played off y'all feeling, but we got to understand that black people, you're the most emotional animals on the planet right now. You're the most emotional animals on the planet. You think everything belongs to you because it got your same pigmentation. Yeah, he used the SJW movement, but guess what? The SJW movement wasn't even started by you. Hell, not even Black Lives Matter was started by you. Name one thing black started by black men or black people without some type of agenda. And I can promise you, as you start to go down that rabbit hole, I mean, other than stepping away from the NOI, even the NCAA, that was started by white people. The HBCUs, guess what? That was started by white people for their mixed children. You see, so when it comes time for us to start doing our investments and start looking at these type of things, we always got to understand, like, listen, man, so what are you doing? Because then when we have these talks about black men stepping up, and I did a talk about that, like you were saying, Prophet, about, I was the only black father in the school with 700 children. I didn't see no black men running up in there like that, but they say we run in the community. I didn't see no black daddies in there with me. And I waited for 3 hours. I went to another school. I saw 2 other black men. All I saw was old people and black women up in there. So I'd be like, so black men, we can't start doing this preaching when it's all good. But then all of a sudden, when somebody's doing it, then you start showing up and start preaching the gospel and want everybody to be on code with you. It's not going to work like that. It's not. So Jay-Z did that. But then I didn't see y'all bringing up when he used his money to get black fathers out of doggone jail for Father's Day. Y'all didn't bring up that. Or when we gonna bring up the time when he actually took black artists who were failing with their industry or got bamboozled by certain industries and bailed them out of bankruptcy? See, it was easy to start saying you doing this or you signed to that. But see, I don't hear that many black men saying I'm happy a black man made it. I'm happy a black man is up there now, and actually he get to call some type of shots. Oh, right, because white men are on that table too. But I'm like, damn, so when do you want to get a win? When do you want to be respected? Because see, let it be another one of us on that doggone, on the other foot. I bet you and I and a lot of us know, as black men, you start climbing the ladder of success and you start doing things, black men start going ghost on you. They stop liking you. Because they're going to be like, ask not what you can do for you. I want to know what you can do for us. And I'm be like, hold the hell up, nigga. So you be asking me for a job? But I mean, I ain't never seen where he ain't trying to hire people to not work at Rockaware. Y'all should be saying, let's take our money, invest in Jay-Z and start getting shares so that way we can go buy stuff. If y'all was smart, y'all would just say, okay, Hova got in, so let's see how we can start pooling him some money. Y'all could have been do that. Even Killer Mike, even supporting. He said, why y'all mad that this man made it? Why? I don't get that. So you get somebody finally in, but now you get mad at the man. What kind of hypocritical shit is that? The only other black owner is Michael Jordan. And he owns actually higher than Jay-Z. He has what? He has a baseball team, the Miami Marlins, and he has the Charlotte Bobcats got absorbed, but he has the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, he's got the Hornets down here.
He has 2 teams. Jordan's been doing this, as well as Serena and her sister, and I think there's like in Russell and Sierra. There's different black shareholders that have been buying and have been done. It's just right now, Jay-Z's just actually a billionaire openly that's been doing stuff. But again, we can easily critique black people when they're doing stuff, but then when it comes time for them on their come up, people don't know these people. People don't even want to fuck with them. But you'll throw out in front of the white man, well, he's a drug dealer. So you forget that? Well, damn, I get it. You know he's a drug dealer. But see, you forget the other shit that he's doing. Don't praise the Pookie when he's the Pookie, but then all of a sudden when he's making it, then all of a sudden he's there walking with the lames. See, that's contradictory. That's blasphemy right now. You can't serve two masters. Either you happy that a black man's getting a win or not. Because a lot of the stuff that he's running and doing, I see a lot of black people on the front page, Van Jones and all that stuff. And maybe I don't like them and I get it. But damn it, like, I don't know, man. Then y'all need to start building your own shit so you can talk your own shit.
Well,
let's get it, X.
Let me ask you brothers this. Now, I know both of you. Y'all my people. Brother Haywood, that's my man. Brother Haywood's been fucking with me for years, ever since I worked for fucking Nubia Hood Radio. And Brother B.M.T, me and you, I mean, man, we've been fucking with each other for a while, and I know both of you brothers are conservative. So why do you think that many of us as black folks, why do you think that when it comes to because let me preface it with this. The bulk of us, probably to the tune of like 90% or more, are probably more on the liberal left Democratic side. I would dare to say that as black people, most of us. And we're on the Democratic liberal side, even though as black people, we have some conservative views as black people, as the black collective, especially when it comes to, homosexuality and things like that. We are government spending, we are more on the conservative side. So why is it that we often lead with these liberal kind of viewpoints? We lead from this liberal fucking place where we think that anybody black that's rich should be giving the rest of us black folks money. Anybody black that's successful should be sharing their success with the rest of black folks. If they black and they influential, they should be freaking in the middle of some ghetto somewhere, throwing a concert and shit in the middle of the torn down project buildings or some shit. Why do we take that approach, man? What is that fucking about? What is that about?
Well, I mean, we have plenty of examples to choose from in our own communities. Examples of men and women who have either been designated or who have put their time and efforts forth to perpetuate this victimhood narrative within the black community that just will not go away. And they are in the media, they're in music, they're marching on the streets and pounding the pavement, and they're preaching, this gospel, and they're inculcating and dogmatizing, the masses within our community to believe this bullshit. It's conditioning, it's social fucking conditioning. And so the real players, as you both know, in business, in the corporate sector, in the corporate world, they are probably conservative, and low key, they're probably Republican. I wouldn't be surprised if Jay-Z secretly, privately, um, had Republican views. I wouldn't be surprised if he were even a Trump supporter to some degree, because Trump, and I don't mean to say too much about Trump because we're not discussing Trump, but he, like Jay-Z, he doesn't serve the interest of the common man, no matter if you're white, black, or Mexican. He serves the interest of the rich and of the wealthy, right? So he works for people like Jay-Z. I wouldn't be surprised if Jay-Z secretly admired Trump to some degree or agreed with some of his policies, or if they have even discussed, some of these issues over the phone. These men are, as you mentioned, Prophet, part of a tax bracket that is way above our comprehension level. And they make decisions based on that fact, right? So when you look at a Jay-Z or an Oprah or anyone, when they, and this is the funny thing is, Martin Luther King didn't come from humble beginnings at all. People assumed that he did, but there were people in the know who were very familiar with Dr. King's background. He came from a certain measure of privilege and of affluence. And so when he decided to step down from his ivory tower and postulate and pander to common black folk, they looked at him like, nigga, you ain't one of us. Why are you talking? This is why the people who were actually down with the movement, who really knew what was up, they were more supportive of Malcolm X because he was one of them. He came from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So when you have, again, people in positions of privilege or of influence or wealth attempting to relate to the common man, it's automatically going to be inauthentic and insincere because they really can't relate. And so the decisions they make, the philosophies they share, do not coincide with those that exist within our community. And so we need to really understand that and come to grips with that. Otherwise, we will be left at the altar every single fucking time. This road only leads to disappointment. We have several examples of that. It needs to stop. That's my perspective.
Brother B.M.T.
These won't be as good.
B.M.T.
Question.
Brother B.M.T.
Why do black people expect somebody to throw whatever?
I just answered that.
We done lost Brother B.M.T. I think.
I just said it's because we're conditioned to, and I mentioned all people constantly trying to come down from ivory towers to convince us that we need them.
Did you say something, Prophet?
Yeah.
I can't hit my thing. Hang on. Let me come back out and then come right back in.
Okay. Yeah, man, I gotta agree with you, Brother Haywood, because when you say this kind of stuff, though, when you
convince black people that we need go ahead.
When you talk about the perpetual victimhood piece, because we often say that a lot, and we catch a lot of blowback when we say that shit. You say that shit up on here, and people are, oh man, you're throwing black people underneath the bus. I mean, whenever you speak a volume of truth about anything, you're always accused of throwing black people under the bus. It's like I said earlier, people talk this free speech shit. They want to be able to say whatever they want to say, but as soon as you say something, you're not allowed. That's when free speech offends them. It's the whole, it's free speech for me, but not for thee thing. So whatever you say, when you bring these truths to black people, you always have people who want to say, oh, you're bashing black people. You're talking down on black people. How the hell am I talking down on black people when I'm just telling you the shit that I see? I'm telling you the shit that I've lived through. I'm telling you the shit about people that I know. I'm telling you about people in my family. I'm telling you about stuff I see on media. How is that talking down on black people when you see black folks doing the very shit that you're talking about? And I know everyone sees it. A lot of us pretend like we live in this bubble where we don't see none of the shit that we talking about here on the internet. That we don't see it. Only the people with the microphones and the cameras see it. The rest of us, we don't see any of it. So they have no idea. We have no idea what we're talking about.
Don't worry about X. Don't worry. Don't even worry about it. I'm not trying to placate, and I'm not trying to kiss boo-boos and shit to a lot of these motherfuckers. This is why shit always happens. You men piss me off. Stop with this bullshit. Now you starting to sound like the women. When we see something going on in the community and we turn a fucking blind eye when somebody black calls it out, then y'all get a fucking problem with this shit. The fuck is wrong with you as men? Don't talk about this shit. The fuck? That ain't how our fathers had raised us. If you had a father, your father saw something going on in the house. He said, hey, he called it out. That's what you do as a man. You call out the shit that goes on in your community. That's not on code. So because we talk about it, You literally have two men on here. I don't know about, but see, Hayward, I don't know too much about you, brother, but I'm pretty sure you're a good brother. But I can tell you right now, from me and X, you know what I'm saying? I listen, man. I've done served. I got a family. I'm successful. I got all my benefits from the system. I raised my children. I'm an impact in my community. I have properties around my town. Now, I would like to see other black men, but see, I'm sorry. I don't see that many black men, especially my age, doing the fuck what I'm doing. But I sure do get a lot of them when it comes time for me to write a check towards wherever I want to write it to. They're like telling me what to do. That's when I hear black men. But I said, yo, enough of that damn car wash. Go open up a damn tax building. Go open up a doggone mechanic building. Go do this and that. Why y'all always telling me how to spend my check? But when it comes time for y'all to actually do some work, y'all disappear. Or when it comes time to actually step up and go be some coaches or do some other stuff that we do need, or when we got to call out shit in the community that we got a problem with, y'all go quiet. But then y'all show up when y'all get ready when the check is time to get signed. See, you ain't gonna get no reparation because you ain't gonna put in no goddamn work. You like to go off of the work of others. But see, then I'm looking at you. What kind of setup are you doing for future generations? What are you doing right now? Don't talk about the works of other black people. Talk about your works first. See, I got no problem getting in y'all face with this shit, but I understand how you got to deal with certain black people now.
If I can interject real quick, just
go ahead. Go ahead, Brother Haywood.
It's too, man. Look, we've had a history of this shit. I keep on mentioning the Jesse Jacksons, the Al Sharptons of the world, who find excuses to our ignorance. Anytime we see footage or evidence of niggas acting a goddamn fool, there's always some black apologist like Michael Eric Dyson or Angela Rye who comes from the dark and emerges to make an excuse for our behavior. And it's these people, they enable the ignorance and the foolishness that you witness from black people on a daily basis. When these people, it's almost like a mother whose child is bad as a motherfucker, right? And she refuses to acknowledge that her child is completely dysfunctional. Your child is bad and needs correction. The mom can't see it because the mom, I suppose, is programmed to be a nurturer and to make excuses for her child. You've seen mothers, man, who would defend their children when they're on death row for murder. They've murdered 5, 6, 10 goddamn people, and their mom was in the courtroom crying. That's my baby. I can't believe it. He's a good boy. No, he's not. He's a fucking murderer. So it's the same thing when you have these people out here. They see it. They have TVs and cell phones, and they read the papers. They read the stories. They know what's going on in the world and within these communities. Chicago, just last weekend, look at the numbers, man. You know how many people, again, were killed in Chicago? And yet Chicago is only the sixth, I believe, deadliest city in the country. That means there are 5 other cities more violent than Chicago, which I couldn't believe when I first discovered that. I think Baltimore and New Orleans,
some shit? Yeah, St. Louis.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we see this shit happening, and yet still, somehow, the Black Lives Matter movement became this massive thing where black people were marching on the streets and protesting as if police were killing them more than they were killing themselves. And you have other social justice warriors and apologists and people pandering just to make a dollar, and they're coming up with narratives that don't truly exist. The problem is the Bill Cosbys of the world who called niggas out for being poor fathers and who called niggas out for behaving like they were fools. People like that are normally condemned and forgotten by their own communities. When Bill Cosby got into all of that bullshit, how many black people stepped up to defend him? No one. You know why? It's because we were still mad at him for calling us out all those years ago. If you are a black public figure, it behooves you to pander and to placate other black folk because that's the only way you will retain star status in the eyes of black folk, is if you dance to the rhythm of their beat. Once you hold them accountable for the shit they do, automatically they look at you as the enemy, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you listen because I listen to a lot of brothers up here. I mean, I have a lot of times I have I have the computer in the shop, and I have it, I have it on the speaker system and shit, and I listen to brothers when I'm in the shop working and shit. And I hear a lot of brothers, I mean, being apologists for the bad acts of other black folks. They'll give you every reason from slavery, Jim Crow, white supremacy, inherited trauma, and every goddamn thing else. When people are doing bullshit. And see, my problem with it, and I talked about this last week. I talked about benevolence, the excusing of bad behavior and shit. So, I think we have this benevolence when it comes to other black people because see, I got a saying and I say it a lot. I say dysfunction is close to us because we all got somebody who in and out of jail. We all related to a baby mama. We all related to somebody who's on drugs. We all related to somebody who's a drunk and all that kind of nonsense. So it's like we have this benevolence for the people that we don't know, the strangers, because some of us have a brother that's in and out of jail. Some of us have a sister that's a drug addict baby mama. Some of us have a mother who wasn't shit. So we kind of, for some reason, we're able to kind of relate to this badass behavior. And not only can we relate to it, we have a tendency to have a benevolence for it because we can always say, well, it's because of white supremacy, it's because of Jim Crow, it's because of slavery, it's because of this, it's because of that. And I think that we have created a pattern of that where we quick to defend a black person when they do something, no matter how fucked up it is, because we can always fall back on the fact that we've been conditioned to be this way. Therefore, it's not truly our fault that we acting a goddamn fool. We acting a goddamn fool because we were slaves 400 years ago. That kind of shit, man. That fucks with me. What's good, brother RJ? I see you up there, man. You want the link? I'll send it to you.
So
It's a safety net. That's what it is. It's our safety net. And I'll just say this real quick. Here's the thing that really sets us over the top is when white people start apologizing. You know what I'm saying? Now you got white folk out there parroting the same ridiculous viewpoints that you might hear from a black apologist. Apparently now they feel as if they're somehow responsible for the conditions within our community. Oh, well, let's come up with excuses for why you Negroes are so dysfunctional. It's because of us. We're part of it. We feel guilty. So now it's as if not only are we finding excuses for ourselves, but they are too, which really reinforces the victimhood mentality that I mentioned earlier. It's a perpetual in a dangerous and toxic cycle that needs to be eliminated, man.
Yeah, it's
so
gotta stop. Go ahead, brother BMT.
so the thing about it is this. Like, I get it. We got a lot of shit going on right now for black men. But the thing about it is, and we don't like how Jay-Z got it going on right now. But see, then I'm like, I get it. What he did, he placated off the black man's emotion. And I told y'all something about black Negroes and religion. We get too giddy whenever we start hearing that feel good. I have a dream shit. And then all of a sudden, these things happen. So you gotta ask yourself, you know what I'm saying? Now that you got what you wanted for, but you don't like the end results. But now you gotta ask yourself, like, what are you gonna do? How do you start actually maneuvering with this type of position? Because now if I was some brothers, I'd be like, yo, listen, Jay-Z, you okay. The Kaepernick shit happened. Now let's see what we can do to capitalize off of this thing. I gotta now we gotta go into business mode. Just like I get it when we hit the doggone integration moment when we started integrating with white folks, we thought we made it. No, that meant time. Now we actually got to start hitting boots on the ground and start running. Because it's time for the fuckery going to start happening. People are going to start getting lazy, and people aren't going to want to participate. But now we got it where we do have able-bodied people who can actually do, who can probably make changes. And I'm listening, man, I'm not under no circumstance am I trying to big up in J.Z. But I'm like, I got to look at it like, listen, man, it's time for us to start tell somebody you do know, listen, man, you want us to continue to support you? Listen, we'll start putting money through you. And you start at least doing something for us that we can use to push what we want to see. But you can't, don't start throwing no damn preachers their way. Don't start all of a sudden, talking about everything else but what we need to actually be on code about. And that's an issue that we're having. We do not push and we do not visualize our narrative. So things happen. There's two things that happen. One, you're going to have black people say, well, Jay-Z made it, so guess what? We made it. No. You need to actually start getting ready. You need to start getting ready for the storm. Because this is where now you're trying to figure out who's for you and who's against you. But the thing about it is, you're not truly in it yet. You're not truly there. And that's a problem that we definitely have going on. That once somebody makes it, then they look like us, we automatically think that we won. That's not beneficial and healthy thinking. Just because Prophet is successful don't mean like, oh, Prophet won, so we all got a black man. No, nigga, that means you need to start using Prophet as much as you can till he can expand and start hiring more black men. You see how I just said that? Hire Prophet some more so that way he can hire more black men. Give him more jobs to the point where he can put on more black brothers and sisters. Yeah, women too. So that way he can expand. That way those contracts stay in the black community. You can't ask for something, but you're not making sure that it's nurtured, it's taken care of. But then you got everything to say about it. Well, why did he hire that Hispanic boy? Well, guess what? The Hispanic boy came to work. You didn't want to go to work. You can't tell him to stop living for you. Like, that's not fair. And I hate when we do that. Like, I'm not saying that black men, we're not out here doing stuff, but we do have a lot of successful brothers. But see, we don't take care and nurture when certain brothers start making it into certain positions. And that's not cool in culture. I get it. We got the Jesse Jacksons and the Al Sharpton. There's going to be a Judas in every goddamn flock, every generation. But now, how do we start protecting and making sure that these type of people? I get it. You're going to say Jay-Z told other brothers not to get in. I get it. Not fucked up. So make him work. Put his ass to work. That's the thing about it, man. Like, I know everything's not going to be clean, man. We can't be saying that we want miracles, but then we ain't ready to get in the dirt. Don't talk about what the white man is doing, but we understand the white man don't play fair. The Latino man learned that too. I can't play fair with this man. So why are you asking us to always keep playing fair? I know it. I mean, I get it. You asking a dude who literally said, I'm Lucifer and I'm also Hova. I'm a hustler. So guess what? He's going to be playing by certain rules. So you got to understand, either you're going to have to start doing the same thing. That's the rules.
Just to interject real quick too.
Go ahead, Brother Haywood.
It's like, I hear this expression, we want a seat at the table. Well, it's not going to be the head chair. You will never, ever be seated at the head of the table if you're constantly trying to position yourself to gain access to their table. And the operative word in that sentence is there, because it's not yours. It's their table. It belongs to them. Why do you continue, when I say you, I mean us, black people, why do we continue to beg and plead for a seat at their table? Let's just say hypothetically, they say, okay, nigga, Here's a seat. What power do you really have in that scenario? Because at the end of the day, even if you have a seat at the table, you are still under their control and under their authority because it's their table. You see, the key is to create your own table. I don't see Hispanics. I don't see Asian Americans. I don't see people from other racial groups, other minority groups, although they might occasionally hold white people accountable for the atrocities that they have committed to pretty much every race in existence. Still, you notice that these people, Hispanics especially, they are making moves to create for themselves. They don't want a seat at the white man's table, at their table, because they realize that if you're constantly begging for a place at someone else's table, if you're constantly battling other racial groups and jockeying for positions, you get scraps left behind by the quote unquote man, you will never really be able to provide for yourself. You will never be self sufficient, self contained. You will always be relying on the generosity and the consideration of someone else. So I encourage black people, I implore black people, let's stop fucking asking for a seat at the white man's table. I get it. He has all the power and all the money. I understand. But at the end of the day, man, you have to stand up for what's right. Stand up for yourself. Build your own fucking table. Otherwise, man, the cycle will fucking continue, man. That's the problem.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying on that about build your own table. Okay, so that's that, and I that's all good. You can build your own table, but the thing about it is, do we tell that to the Asians when they put a restaurant in the black community, but we go there and buy shrimp fried rice and fried chicken? Do y'all tell them to go back to their table? Do we tell that to the Latin people when they going around doing the jobs that back then we used to do? Do we tell them to go back to their table? But see, they go to our table. They go to our musical industries. They go do our stuff. Everybody knows to come to the black table and eat off the black table.
No,
But
see,
then
we don't
when it's
have
time,
a table.
but see, hold on now, hang on. Now you're saying we don't have a table. We don't have a table. But here's the thing about it is, like I said with the Rock Nation deal, it literally set it up that more black people get the more hindsight to advertise on other people's table. Like we could say, okay, we keep talking about building our own table, okay, and that's all good and all. That's all good and all when it comes to building your own table. But see, whenever it comes to us as black people talking about black prices and doggone what we need to be doing in the black community on code, see, I noticed that again. They come back to that investing. Black people talk that good jazz when it comes to the black business, but we got a lot to say about our own black businesses. We don't want to actually placate. Why y'all charge this type of price? Well, guess what, brother? I don't control the source like that. So I
Well,
gotta
I
go
don't
buy
think
it from
that's an
them.
issue. There are other factors that we need to
Well,
consider, right? In
well,
terms of black businesses, and I will say that there are black businesses that are thriving. It just depends on where you go in the country. Also, you have to remember, at least where I'm from, Southern California, I live in Los Angeles, there were plenty of mom and pops, small businesses owned by African Americans that were ultimately phased out, eliminated because of gentrification, right? So there are reasons why black businesses, at least small businesses, aren't thriving as they were before. And then when you see other racial groups infiltrating our communities, remember, we're all minorities at the end of the day, even poor whites. They experience some of the same struggles that we do economically, right? So when you see beauty shops and nail salons and you mentioned Chinese food restaurants in our community. No, it's not our community. It's the minority community. We all live within miles of one another. It's all one big amalgamation, all one big conglomerate. It's it's not us versus them. Really, it should be looked at from a perspective of it's them in terms of white people versus the rest of us, because we're
Wait,
all right now fighting for scraps
so
instead of trying to create
but
wealth.
hold on, brother Hayward. But why are you including the Asian man struggle, the Latino brother struggle? But see, when it came to the civil rights, I didn't see Ching Chong Ching walking hand in hand with you.
Wow.
I didn't see him. I
Did
didn't see.
you did
I
you
didn't.
did you just say ching
Wow.
chong ching?
He did. He
Hold on
said
now.
ching kong ching.
I didn't see.
Here's
I
the
didn't see
here.
them. Now, see, here the thing about it is, when it
I
comes
said
to
economic. I said economic struggles.
when it comes, see, the thing about it is, black men, we got to stop including every minority into your struggle.
Oh no, I
Because
said
see,
economic struggles. There's a difference.
see, but you can't say, well, it's a minorities versus the white man. Because see, the one thing about it, those minorities, the minute that if they would have got that same opportunity Jay-Z got, they would have jumped on it,
They would have
and they
taken it.
did.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. You said once they receive the opportunity, that is still us, like dogs, waiting for white men to throw us a bone, whether you're black, blue, or green. If you are waiting for a white man to throw you a bone, you are in the inferior position. You are
So wait, how
powerless
you
in
wait?
that
Okay,
scenario.
Well,
so
that's crazy to me anyway, because I mean, you know, we always talking about how much we hate white folks and you know how much white folks have done to us. But at the same time, we find ourselves looking to the very people that we claim have oppressed us and had us in slavery and got their foot firmly pressed against our necks right here in 2019. But somehow we're still looking to these people to help us, to bail us out, to give us businesses, to give us opportunities. I mean, we can't have it both ways. I mean, we can't hate white folks on one turn and then love them on the next. But we have been joined by my man RJ in the house. What's good, brother RJ?
Hey, what's good, brother X? Thank you for having me on as always, brother. I appreciate the
Absolutely,
love.
man. You
Hey,
wanna
what's going on, brother B.M.T, my man, brother Cory Haywood, man. I appreciate the love, man. Hope y'all
How
having
you
a
doing,
great
brother?
evening.
do
You
you
got it,
want
sir.
to weigh in on this here subject, brother RJ?
Absolutely, I love to. BMT and I were conversing about this earlier today, and it's mind blowing. I have to find another synonym for this, brother X, because here's the deal. Um, we mentioned the table earlier, and first, let me address what you just mentioned. Um, it can only get worse from here because I used to teach grand and when I was up in there with the youngsters, I was hearing them say, I'm in my early 30s, but they made me seem older than what I am. They were like, man, something happened in the classroom. They allowed the little white boy use the N-word. And I was like, Tyler, I said, what the hell did you just say, man? And then he pretended like he didn't say what I heard him say. And I said, and so I checked him real hard, got out of teacher mode, and and all the kids co-signed it. They were like, they said, hey man, this isn't back in your day anymore. It's 2018, all this type of stuff, right? Which means that they're that they're accepting of that type of language. They're accepting of that type of culture. They're accepting of that type of behavior. And so, since their guard is down, this I'm talking about this generation Z. I'm a millennial. Since their guard is so down, and they're not willing to, they feel as though that they're accepted, as though the inclusion is there, and so that goes to your point about why do we still look to those people, and that's because in our community we haven't shown each other anything differently. We're still living through these celebrities. We're still looking at them and saying, hey, like you hear people all the time say that the celebrities should be doing XYZ for the communities, and granted that a lot of them do. A lot of it goes unnoticed, and I feel as a business owner, I also feel like and I'm pretty sure you feel like this, Brother X, and any other person on this panel, that we don't want people telling us what we should or should not be doing with our funds because people don't understand our unique financial situation. Okay. And then furthermore, um, we are we're complacent. I said it last week. it seems as you was just talking about how you know, we gone through what we gone through. They put their foot on our neck. Where Brother X, it seemed like that we got to get our ass whooped to act right. Like kids. You know what I'm saying? It seems as though we have to, get drove in order to be on our A game. We can't do right, the way we are now. It's too lax. It feels too good to us right now. Perhaps and this is why I get criticized for this, but that's why I've made the argument saying, well, maybe we shouldn't have integrated. Maybe we should have just kept it separate but equal and then turned right on around and they could have just kept on doing white only, black only, and maybe would have kept on performing well because the stats dropped. When they decide to do this whole little inclusion thing, or at least the illusion of inclusion, and it's disheartening. That's why I just want to continue to work with brothers. I told brother B.M.T, I do what I do here in my local community, but we want to eventually be able to use this YouTube thing for its networking purposes. So I could say, hey, you and this brother out here in the Carolinas, let me go out here and holler at you. Hey man, what y'all got going on out here in this community that I can be a part of, that we could put some funds together, perhaps build something, like literally build something and make it work outside of mentorship, outside of all this stuff. Every day I'm looking to level myself up because I understand as I level up, I'm able to pay that forward in the community, because I don't ever come from an individualistic type of mindset. And we're just complacent, Brother X. And again, for those who don't see anything wrong with it, I'm like, hey, you're not the type of person I want to deal with. Maybe you have to have it all in your face in order for you to feel that way. But when I see Latinos coming into our communities and doing what they're doing, and all these other groups, because they're the next threat. We had predicted that years ago, then well over a decade ago. So someone mentioned a second ago that we don't have a table. Now I'll give you that we don't have a table, but see, here's the deal: we're the instruments that they're eating with. We're the fork, we're the knife, we're the napkin, we're the plate. You know what I'm saying? And that's the issue. You take away them damn instruments, all you got is the table. The table's not set. And that's the that's the thing. So if all we can be our instruments on the damn table, used to enjoy the feast, then then that is indeed a huge issue, and that's what we've been reduced to. That's why people are able to come into our community. We got a black-owned barbershop right here. I mentioned this to B.M.T earlier, and then right next door they got something that blatantly says Latino barbershop right next door. Then the brother next to him talking about, hey, he thinking about selling this building. I'm like, brother, don't sell that building, man. If I got to get it, if the local D boy down the street got to get it, man, do not sell this building. I said them dudes next door, you can't be mad at them for it because it's business. They're gonna knock a damn hole in that wall and they're gonna expand that barbershop. G. I said, man, don't go for that. You know what I mean? And so that's the type of stuff that we dealing with. We'll sell something and give up on it. A lot of the times our kids aren't even interested in taking the baton and paying the business forward. I stay on my little one because I'm like, hey, you're saying all these things that she's young, so you could say everything that you want to be now. I'm telling you right now that you're gonna learn this here, one way. This is gonna be a part of your curriculum, because one thing about it is I know what I'm doing gonna put food, clothing, and shelter, over you, to take care of you, whatever else you may do, hey, you can have that freedom to go do it, but somebody got to take this over, when daddy passes. And so those are the types of things that I stress to my little one, that we should be stressing to our children, and that we just it's the little things that we're not doing. When the dinners that we used to have, sitting down so we can exchange information instead of sitting down, and just eating and getting the hell on out, or oh, I'm gonna eat in the room while I play the game and all this type of nonsense. It's that's what we've been reduced to, brother. We're just comfortable. So we can say what we want to say. I guess we just gonna have to have another foot in our ass, man. So this next wave that's about to happen, if we don't get our act together after do what's coming, then it's over. Like I said, what Dr. Claude Anderson predicted is indeed going to be true. We'll remain a permanent underclass. We'll be some old ass men looking crazy, shaking our head, talking about shoulda, coulda, woulda, and that's just what it is.
Yep.
Well, you mentioned other minority groups infiltrating our community, and I've observed that myself. But I'll tell you why they're able to do this, it's because they move as a single unit. They're a unified front and they pool their resources, they work together to buy property, to hire their own when they open businesses. This is strategic. They just didn't fall into this position, right? And of course, they have acquired these properties and they are expanding into our communities and really forcing us to patronize their businesses. And it's because many of us don't have an alternative, right? When you think about someone, black woman who's 65 years old and doesn't have transportation to get to the local grocery store. So what does she do? She goes to the corner store, right, to get some milk and some eggs. So who owns that corner store? Most likely it's an Hispanic, male or female, or perhaps Asian, right? So it's they have positioned themselves to expand their, um, I would say, their communities. Ultimately by number one, multiplying, realize that there are more of them in this country now than ever before, right? There are at least 52 million Latino Americans throughout the country, right? That means they have more political power, they have more economic power. That means eventually they will be in a position where they are making the rules in this country. It's going to happen. And so we can't sit back and be mad at that. If anything, we need to get to work ourselves to catch up because we're way, way behind. And again, you mentioned why is it that we're constantly, again, begging for a seat at the table? It's because, and some of it is rooted in slavery. As much as I hate going back to that narrative because it's cliche and it's been nitpicked and used over and over again, I will say this. We have been conditioned to believe that their toys are shinier than our toys. So if, let's say, a league were established, a sports league, football, basketball, anything, I'm almost certain that league wouldn't be as popular as the NFL if it were owned by black people because we simply don't view our own accomplishments as equal to those of white people. For whatever reason, we always view our own things, our own businesses, our own leagues, our own teams, anything that we do ourselves, we always view that stuff as inferior to what they have. And that is completely rooted in slavery and social conditioning. That's the problem.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, we've we've always been indoctrinated with the fact that, to not use another cliche, but I got to use it anyway. The white man's ice is colder. So, that being said, we're always going to value others' accomplishments, others' companies, others' ideas more than we freaking you know value our own. you know we don't value our own accomplishments, therefore we don't value the accomplishment of our brothers. We don't patronize our brothers shops, we don't patronize our brothers businesses. And if we do happen to walk in there, we want to walk right in there and get the you know we both ancestors of slaves discount. When we come up in there, we want the discount. We want the ADOS discount. So I mean, that's kind of what we have. When you're dealing with many of us. I know as a business owner myself, I go through the shit a lot. I go through the shit more than I want to freaking mention when it comes to black folks. Is it all the black folks who walk into my shop? No, but it's a significant number of them. When they walk in there, if I tell them something costs $200, they want me to do it for 100. If I tell them it's 500, they want me to do it for 250. I mean, this is what we're faced with most of the goddamn time. And the only way, the only way we're gonna stop it is by telling some of our brothers and sisters no. We have to start saying no to black folks. We have to stop saying no to excuse making. We have to say no to giving special treatment. I'm not gonna give you special consideration necessarily because you're black unless I feel it necessary to do so, not just because you're black, but because I want to do this because you're black. I mean, we have to start parsing out some of this shit. Because don't get me wrong. I mean, the brothers that come to me, okay, because I know a lot of brothers who own companies, they contractors and shit like that. And a lot of them come to me and they say, X, man, they said, man, I need my skid steer by tomorrow, man. Could you push it up for me? Now, depending on what kind of customer he is, I will push his shit up to the front and make sure he have his shit back by tomorrow. Okay, depending on who he is and what kind of relationship we have, him and I. Now, the next person who come through, even though he's a brother and he's somebody that I just freaking met, and he coming right in, he want this special consideration just because he's black and I'm black, he's probably not going to get it because see, he hasn't established that relationship with me. See, we as black people, and I talked about this earlier, that we have this shit where we think we deserve shit right off the rip. Okay. Now I'm a true believer that you deserve what you freaking earn. You deserve what you worked for. You deserve what you built. You don't deserve anything off top for the simple fact that you and I share a skin color. I just don't think that that's the right way to go about it. And I think a lot of us have that goddamn mind frame, and we have that mind frame about everything. We have that mind frame about business. We have that mind frame about the people we deal with. We have that mind frame about media. And we have that mind frame about big time millionaire, billionaire celebrities like J.Z. Because, see, we think that we are freaking entitled to this man's money. We think we're entitled to have a say on the decisions he make. We think we're freaking entitled to him building us a school, building us a house, buying us a car. We think we deserve this shit. We think we deserve it, even though we haven't earned any of it. We haven't even earned the right to freaking pass judgment on that man and how he spends his money. How do we deserve the right to tell that man not to do X, Y, and Z?
Brother X,
People like him, they make enough money to play by their own rules. I'm nowhere near a brother like Jay-Z's tax bracket. But the reason why I started my own business so I could play by my own goddamn rules. Okay?
I would tell you why, and I'm playing devil's advocate here. I think this is total bullshit, but I'm going to say it anyway.
You fading in and out, Brother Haywood. I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Fading in and out, okay, brother.
Hold on. Okay, so this is what it is. I'm playing devil's advocate here. What someone like Michael Larry Dyson would say to counter your point would be that Jay-Z is rich because of us. That Jay-Z is rich because we purchase his albums. Jay-Z is rich because we watch his music videos, because we buy tickets to his concerts, because we have ultimately financed his lifestyle. We pay money to see him perform. We pay money to buy his albums. We have supported Jay-Z from the time that he came into the game to where he is now. And because we have supported him financially, we have poured our time and our emotions and our spirits into him and his career and his family, his wife, his children. That's why we deserve consideration when he makes decisions, because we helped him get to where he is today. That's what someone like Michael Larry Dyson would say. Someone like me, though, would say, that's bullshit. Fuck you. But I'm just letting you know that's what someone on the other side of the aisle would say to you in response to your remarks.
So let me go into the talk about this. Can y'all hear me? So one thing about it is, and I break down this kind of stuff for a while. One, we don't you don't make that much money as you think you make in the music industry. You got to start actually doing other things. I think even a lot of artists, if you look at the top artists, they started doing other stuff like selling water and investing in NASCAR and other stuff because there's somebody who probably put them to the side and said, listen, man, what you doing right now ain't gonna last forever. It's only for a season. If you smart, you will invest your money. You will invest your money so that way you do make it and you become something more. Now, to say that, that would mean you're going to have to start learning other tricks to the trade. And the thing about that is, will black people follow you or invest in you when you start doing those type of things? You get what I'm saying? And what happens is some people don't feel like I need to do that. I owe that of you. And see, that's a problem. That's a big problem because granted, yes, he did start out with us. Normally, I would honestly, and I would give you that, yes, he did make his come up selling crack and dope. The man was open about that. But see, I'm going to placate off of Negro Jesus for y'all. Because same way as when we talk about the fallacies and the things that we do wrong in the black community, but then when you start seeing a brother do something, we always bring up, well, remember, I owe you. Well, then I'm going to say, well, guess what? I paid that debt in some sense when I got you black men out of jail. I paid back that debt when me and my wife opened up a doggone a studio home for single mothers and their children. You see, when we start playing the tit for tat game of what you owe me, then I'm gonna be then he can come back and say, well, since I did this for y'all, if you want any other type of thing back, you're gonna have to start doing this for me. Versus you can always, and this is the thing about, but I want to bring it back to the table. I want to bring it back to that table thing where we talk about the symbolism of the table. But the thing about it is, if you want your own type of table, or you want your own type of representation, then you would have to start asking the question, then what are you doing to support that narrative? Because then it comes back to, well, then I don't want to have to spend that same price that I don't want to have to pay that because I'm black. Well, if you black, then shit. Then why don't you support me? Just, why don't you, push my endeavors? What about if I hit bankruptcy, which he had lost a lot of shares. You see, that's the thing about it. You don't just follow me in the good times. You follow me in the good and the bad times. But then that would mean that we have to always be on code. And I'm not going to lie, the black man has not always been very good at playing on code when he should. That I'm my brother's keeper, it's used at bad timing. How many black people are supporting Brother RJ? How many black men are giving the same price that usually Prophet would give a white man? How many of y'all are actually placating? How many times do we lowball ourselves for those men or those women? Not saying that there's some people that say, yo, man, no, the price is the price. I'm gonna pay it. I'm gonna pay it for it as is. Or I see you hiring these people. I'm going to make sure that I always push your business. We don't do that enough. So when we're looking at it, why we got this man sitting at the white man's table, we going for scraps. That diminishes the civil rights movement. Then, but the civil rights movement, you went to the white man to say, hey, I want fair and equal trade. Then why did you do that? You see what I'm saying? Like when that type of narrative, it greatly diminishes a lot of black people who came through and did things. You got to have something or someone to sell it to. That's the key word of patent. Back then, black people, we didn't get that type of role. Now, when we talk about, well, you got to go that table, I understand when you're taking on other people's narrative, you're sucking and jiving, you bow bucking. But then I'm going to say, well, then I'll tell you what, you build a table and you build it up right, however you see fit, and then I'll come check you out. And then after that, if it matches up to par, we're going to see how black people, we need to rock with you. But if you build a congregation, then you build the tabernacle, then we'll check you out. But see, we can't, we do a lot of telling each other on what we should and shouldn't do. And I got but I always ask him. That's one I always go back to. What are you doing, my brother? And what table? If it's a little teeny taller table like the 3-year-old sit at, or you building a rickety old table, whatever type of table you build, what kind of feast are you setting up for us to eat at? Because if you got to have somebody sitting at the table. One of the biggest things that we don't got as black men is representation. We don't. But you finally got somebody there at the table in the NFL who might be a shareholder. So what do you want to see? If you put somebody, if we raised up a brother like RJ, gave him millions of dollars, say, RJ, you go sit at the table, guess what? Now he's an advocate for us. But you didn't put RJ there. RJ's fighting his own way to get up there. That's the problem. Like, if you didn't help the brother get there, you can't all of a sudden come off the rip and start saying that, hey, you need to do this for us. But you didn't put him there. I feel like that's unfair that we do that a lot, man. You know, we always bring up what the next man, and I don't know why we do this to black men so much. We have higher standards on our black men, but then we always critique our black men whenever they do something, but we don't like the way they do it. And I'm like, damn, there's no winning with you niggas. Y'all like the women. Like,
I'm
shit.
back. I'm back, y'all.
Back,
my shit had went out because it's raining like a motherfucker in the Queen City, and goddamn it, the power went out. The goddamn internet went off because you know all our shit is underground, cable, lights, all that shit is underground. So whenever we have a rainstorm, we have problems and shit. So my bad, y'all. I thought I was gonna come back and see a black ass screen, but I see everybody still here. So
like I said, only thing I'm saying, man, is that I know you don't like. I know I get what you're saying, brothers Haywood, about he's sitting at a white man's table. But ain't you glad it's a black man sitting at the table for once? I mean, shit. Then get more black men to that goddamn table, damn it. So that way you have more options. Why aren't we trying to get more black men on the table? Like the more black men that get on the table. Do we say that when a black man leaves and goes to another community and he starts making moves? Well, damn. He just wanted to be with the white folks. Or do we say another black man is building up a family?
Old boy and Django sat at the white man's table too. Who was
which old boy?
Character?
You want Samuel Jackson's character?
What was his name?
I don't know, but I get what you're talking about.
He sat at the white man's table. All I'm saying, man, is this. Look, I applaud Jay-Z for taking the next step.
Right.
And then also, I want to just kind of go back to the whole Kaepernick situation. What kind of upsets me is that none of these niggas are really telling us what they plan to do. They're getting paid under the table. They're signing deals. They're creating alliances and entering partnerships. But not one of these cats are getting in front of a camera and actually sharing, giving us a comprehensive explanation of their agenda and of what they plan to do. We still don't know. We're all here speculating, but we have no idea what Jay-Z has planned. We don't know really why Kaepernick began to kneel in the first place. You know, you had a bunch of people trying to explain Kaepernick's position without Kaepernick actually stepping up and doing it himself. We have spent the last 2 years trying to figure that shit out. I just wish for once one of these niggas would actually grab a microphone and actually tell us what the fuck he's trying to do, what he plans to do. You know what I'm saying? Because we're sitting here having conversations about what we think, these men are going to do or what they have created in their minds to do. We really don't know.
It might be fading out.
Uh-oh. Fading out again, huh? I think it's a plane just flew over. Okay, can you hear me now?
Well, that's the thing about we knew Kaepernick wanted. Kaepernick wanted to be the starting quarterback again.
Fading out, Brother Haywood. Either that or my shit's going down again.
I think your shit might be going down.
Okay. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and just
And
I'm
it,
gonna use my phone's hotspot because
I think
this
with
shit is crazy.
Kaepernick, man, just to touch on that, do I think he wanted to get his job back in the NFL? Yes. Do I think
And I have to turn
that
on the old hotspot on the old phone
do I think he
because we're
used
gonna
the
keep losing
social
the damn
justice
signal. So
platform
I'll just
to
use mine.
no, he can't. Can you hear me, BMT?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Do I think he used the premise of social justice to sort of generate support and to galvanize the community to have us rally behind him and his cause so that he ultimately could bully himself back into the NFL? That's essentially what he tried to do, was
So
to put the NFL's feet to the fire by accusing the league or the organization of ignoring the issues that are germane to our community. And I think that was ultimately his purpose, right? That was his objective, and it worked flawlessly. But at the end of the day, man, like I said, the NFL gave him that platform. And whether you want to admit it or not, the NFL is giving Jay-Z a platform. They are giving us a platform to showcase our talents or to promote our agendas. I'm saying that until we can provide ourselves with our own platforms, right, with our own opportunities, we will always be, right, um, we'll always be under their control. We'll
who's
never
under whose
truly
control?
be free.
Like
Well,
what?
what I'm talking about from a social and economic perspective, and this is why I mentioned that minority groups all experience the same struggles economically, right? We are all scratching and clawing and wrestling for position to advance economically. And it's because the system has been designed to favor whites and whites only, right? So what we're doing now is we're trying to circumvent the system. That's why minorities tend to experience the same economic struggles because many of us run into the same barriers, the same obstacles created by white men to keep themselves in power. That's what's going on right now. And I'm saying that when you have someone like Jay-Z entering a partnership with a league that has been historically um, white owned and um, I would say, I won't say abusive, but certainly dismissive of black issues, you have to ask yourself, is this the best thing for black people or the best thing for Jay-Z? You say, well, I'm glad there's a black man at the table. Yes, there is a black man at the table, but it will only benefit that black man. It won't benefit the rest of us, right? So if the objective is for the rest of us to come up, then it behooves us to build our own tables individually for ourselves, for our families. That's what I'm saying.
Now, okay, so but here's there's gonna always be the rich and the poor. There's always gonna be that in every community. I wish I had understood why we always think that every community is monolithic except the black community, but that's far from the truth. The white man he enjoys shooting his own people too goddamn much. The Latin man they sell drugs to their people. That's why they coming up here to America. When the African come over here, he ain't trying. He might work with you, but then after a while, he said, "This goddamn ADOS nigga, he dumb. He dumb. He steady. He steady. I get it. We know what happened to you, but shit, that shit's still going on in America, in Africa. They got open slavery right over there. They don't even try to hide it. I've seen the slave markets. People sit right there and they call them indentured servants. That's the more PC way to say it. I said, ain't no indentured servant. That's a slave. That little boy's a slave. He gets to sleep in your house, wake up, and doggone make sure that your house is clean. And if he acts up, you can turn him around and pull down his pants and whip him with a stick. That's a slave. And we don't want to talk about that going on in Africa. That's why I be hitting it when those niggas be talking about Africa, the glory of Africa. I'm like, well, damn. Make sure you talk about the indentured servants over there. Don't miss me with that shit. Now, when it comes to us over here, again, I don't listen. None of y'all in this goddamn chat, none of us in this goddamn stream are no goddamn slave. Y'all get that damn slavery shit out y'all damn mind. And none of y'all know slave. I will never, but I've seen what slaves are. I've been a sex trafficked individual. So when y'all talk about slavery, I'll be like, yo, dude, then who's your master? And if the white man is your master, then why are you talking back right now? You should have no complaints that you see a black man that literally is above your status. You see, that's the dangers of this mindset. I understand the woes of the world. But see, you brothers, y'all have a choice and a chance to make a difference in your life. You do. You can do that. But it's going to be up to you to what you want to do. You want the woman to respect you, you got to be the master of your own fate. It ain't going to be easy, man. If you don't want to fuck with Jay-Z, don't leave him alone. Then we need to put our time and our effort into brothers like RJ and Prophet and Haywood. But the thing about it is when they start actually making demands of you, then we start having a problem. I'm not no slave. I'm not no slave. I know I'm free, and I'm going to fight and compete. Now I'm going to scratch, kick, and deceit whoever gets in my way, because I understand when my time comes and I close my eyes, guess what? It'll be my child's turn. And I said, listen, everything I did for you, I did it for you. Prophet understands that, but he's a father. RJ understands it, but you're a father also. We don't got nobody that's going to bat to set up for our children, to actually set the foundation. Black men, we can't ask for the me. What can he do for us? You sound like a child, but you want another black man to do something for you that you can do for yourself. But if you do the work for yourself and you say, here, my son, here, my daughter, I did all this, whether it had been honorable, whether it had been good, it's all yours now. However you may use this, but we ain't gonna lie, everybody in this world done did their damn dirt to get to where they are now. So now you got a man who's literally saying, and he told you on one of the CDs, yo, all this is for my kids. The buying of the property, the ownership, because let's be for real, the owner of BET, he sold that shit off. When he's gone, guess what? All that money and everything goes to his kids, go to his daughter. So we got to ask ourselves, man, are you trying to support something that's supposed to be a legacy? And if you are, then you need to start training up your people to get ready for that type of influxuation of power. Because when it comes to that time, either they're going to know how to handle that power or it's going to fall short. And then y'all going to feel some type of way when a woman is running that shit and she's doing her own goddamn thing, or somebody who don't look like you. We can't be picky with this, man.
I agree.
We can't be picky with this, man.
But you know what, BMT, that right there alone is the code. If we're just, if black people were just simply doing that, I don't think there'd be much to truly complain about. You just mentioned that they're doing it for their kids. If that was the code and you know, we're gonna have our bullshit because we're human. But if the code was just simply making sure that the next generation had it better, we wouldn't be sitting up here saying, hey, you know, we feel sorry for the next generation. I feel sorry for the next generation. I'm concerned for my kids, yada, 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 so forth and so on. And that's just ultimately what it comes down to. You know, I'm not personally upset with you know, like here's my deal with Jay. When it comes to the whole Jay-Z thing, he, you know, he sold a product, he sold CDs, we bought it from him. So one could argue that was the extent of our relationship. We, you know, we got what he quote unquote owed us, right? We got a product that we bought from him, we downloaded from him, or went in Dillard's and bought, you know, Rockaway, whatever the case may be. So cool. You know, that's him putting on for his people. You know what I mean? And us supporting them is saying, hey, we got your back because, you know, you made this for us. All right. Now beyond that, I as far as this like being mad at him for doing that, I don't really think that that's the issue. I said this before, which is when while I was, you know, getting involved in this industry, man, and it just really irked me when people used to make little vague comments like, "Oh, I was at the right place at the right time," or you know, you just gotta know the right people when you're trying to figure out that formula for getting to where you're going, right? And so when you got Jay-Z saying the type of stuff he's saying on his music, I think that's the thing. Again, this goes back to us not separating the music from the individual. You know, he on here and that y'all say, you know, not y'all, but people are saying he's quote unquote spitting game, and then he's selling us game. You know, on that 444 album, for instance, right? That was supposed to be so profound. They like he was just saying something really deep, right? And I even I had a debate on Facebook. I was like, Jay-Z, I said, Jay-Z said nothing deep on this album. I said, y'all just riding. Everybody said I was hating, right? Now here we are. Well, when the album come out? 16. Here we are 3 years later. You know, maybe I'm 15. I can't recall. But anyway, here we are all these years later. And now, you know, he's the enemy of the state. And that's again, that's us living through these celebrities wanting to do what they do. That's why we try to, you know, that's why we do this this what they call neighborhood superstars. You know what I'm saying? Ghetto fabulous. That's why we all into that type of nonsense. Where we don't have the funds to try to go on vacation like we should, and don't have the funds to do a lot of the stuff that we like to indulge in, but yet still we're doing it. So it's this sick, twisted mentality that has us living through these celebrities, have us trying to mimic their lifestyles and show out for whoever they're trying to show out for. And then that's where it comes from. You know, it's disgusting. And also it goes back to how one views their own people. You know, I was on the, you know, when I was on that panel earlier, some people in the chat room was like, oh man, you know, people want to be seen. And it's like, dude, you must be feeling some type of way because that shit's never on my mind. We're all in the same damn system. You know, hell, I view myself as not being where in the hell I want to be. So despite income, despite, you know, whoever in the hell I'm able to bump shoulders with, whoever I'm able to, you know, whatever car I'm driving, none of that. I still view myself as like, yo, man, hey, you know, I'm involved with my people, and I understand our position in society, and so it's always a constant struggle, and we'll sit up there and throw shade on the next one on some sucker shit. You know, I've never once been concerned, you know, what the next man or the next woman's doing as far as you know, whatever their status may be. I never been that guy that was like, oh, that person thinks BMT thinks he's all that. If BMT thinks he's all that as a black man in America, or Brother X, goddamn it, let him think he's all that. Let him be all that, because you've been told you ain't shit all your life. You know what I mean? And we can't even separate something that juvenile, that elementary. Instead, that becomes an issue. That becomes a debate. And so I can't say enough, man. I'm gonna keep on saying it. You know, if it's not some folks who I can't get with, at least on something that basic, I'm not in the industry of converting people at this time, man. I mean, either you got it, either it's snapping in your brain or it's not. And if it's not snapping in your brain, then fuck it, on to the next. You know, I'm not wasting any time. You know, we're too old for this, and seeing 40, 50-year-old people here on these damn YouTube streets hating on each other, throwing shade, causing hell, causing ruckus, flagging channels and all this old silly shit, man. Wherever we go, the damn dysfunction is following. So it just speaks to the mindset. It just speaks to the mindset. We can't enjoy this shit for what it is and just appreciate a brother for what he's doing. It's like, no, I got to bring some fuckery in here. You know what I mean? What happened to, you know, me crossing Brother X? Brother X, he might get pissed at me. He might hide me. He might ban me from his channel. If I might send him an email like, Brother X, man, let me holler at you, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I apologize for what I did. Hey, let's we men. Let's put that shit aside. These cats ain't even doing that. It's like, fuck you forever. You know what I'm saying? We don't even know each other. We ain't touched you. You know, can I shoot somebody in your family first? Can I, you know, whoop your ass before we get to that point? You know what I mean? We don't even get that far, Brother X.
You know what, Brother RJ, man? I like the way you explain things, man. I mean, the way you explain things, man, are crazy. And I'm back, by the way, y'all. My shit keep going out because it's raining like a motherfucker outside. So my shit's fading in, fading out, fading in, fading out. I see Brother Haywood done bounce. But yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you, man. I mean, at some point, man, we have to stop and think about what we're doing, even if we think about it when we're not on media. I know we all have a quote unquote media persona, and we all want to be tough. We all want to be smart. We all want to be intellectual. We all want to have this fucking, we want to have this way about us, on here. But I think we got to get to the point, man, where we have to take a deep look at ourselves, man, and try to figure out what we really want to project when we talking and shit. And we got to make up our fucking minds, man. I hear a lot of fucking double talk, man, on media, not just on YouTube, but on media in itself, man. I hear a lot of double talk. Motherfucker say one thing yesterday, he's saying some other shit today, and he'll be saying a combination of the two tomorrow. So I mean, we got to get past that shit, and we got to make up our minds on who we want to be. I mean, we have to make up our minds. Do we love white folks or do we hate them? Do we do we congratulate people like J.Z. for being millionaires and billionaires, or do we hate on them because we think they don't do enough for black folks? I mean, we have to figure out which one of these things we want to be, and if we're going to try to be a combination of all these things, just say it. Okay, just say it. Fucking own it. Say, hey, I think this way about this shit. I think another way about that shit. Don't claim to be on one side or the other. And then every time I hear you talk, it sounds like you're on the opposite side of the side you were on yesterday. I mean, we got to get away from that shit too. I mean, and it's not necessarily about being genuine or being true to the people on the media airways. It's being genuine and true to the motherfucker you look at every goddamn day. Cause see, when I reach down and close this damn laptop tonight, I'm not gonna see Brother RJ's face. I'm not gonna see Brother B.M.T's face. The only motherfucker in this, stream that I'm going to see after this stream is over is myself. So I have to be content with that person, because if I'm content with that person, that makes all the goddamn difference in how I deal with other people. I think many of us, we just, man, we're discontent with our own selves. So how can we not be discontent with other black folks? If I'm discontent with myself, how am I going to be able to relate to you, Brother RJ, to you, Brother BMT, or anybody who's watching the stream right now? I mean, we got to stop freaking hiding. We got to stop hiding, and we got to get out of our own damn way. I think a lot of times, man, we stand in our own way, man, and we make it seem like someone else is in the way. It's someone else standing in our way. It's someone else blocking our path. And usually it's us, man. It's just us. Now, because I'm gonna end this soon, because this shit just keep going in and out. But I just want to say this, man. As far as somebody like a person like a Jay-Z, and not just a Jay-Z, a Floyd Mayweather, LeBron James, any one of these celebrity types, athletic types. What we have to understand about these people, man, is there's a pretty good chance that they have more in common with white folks than they have in common with us. Number one, because of their tax bracket. Number two, the lifestyle that they live. Number three, their interests. You think Jay-Z's interests are the same as mine? I'm a working stiff, okay? This is what makes my money, okay? And like I always say, the difference between a working man and a rich man is a working man, he has to work for his money. A rich man, his money works for him. Rich folks don't work, okay? When you rich, you don't got to work. That's what I tell people. My ass ain't rich. If I was rich, my black ass would have to work. So as long as I'm working, I ain't rich. So we have to keep that stuff in mind. And sometimes, man, we just have to call things for what they are, man. We have to call them for what they are. I've been saying it all night. People like J.Z. stopped giving a shit about people like me a long time ago. As soon as he was able to pick up and move out of the goddamn hood, as soon as he was a year removed from the hood, he forgot about everybody in that motherfucker, and he damn sure wasn't thinking about the people outside of it. And as long as we keep that shit in that context, we will see what people like Jay-Z are really doing, man. They're doing what all millionaires do, thinking about their goddamn money. And I suggest we, as you know, the paupers of the world, the working men of the world, the businessmen of the world, the people who don't got a damn $1 billion, I suggest we do the same. And I'm pretty sure if Jay-Z or anybody in his tax bracket was to hear these kind of conversations that we have up here on these YouTube streets or these YouTube avenues or these YouTube blocks, they would be asking that famous question from what's the name of that damn album that he had? What's the name of that goddamn album? What's the name of that album? Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah, the first one. Okay.
They would be asking the question, can I live, Negroes? Can I live? That's what people like Jay-Z are saying to people like us. Can I live? That's what it all comes down to, man. It's what it all comes down to. We can say he sold us out. We can say he's a hypocrite. We can say he's wrong. We can say he's part of the boule, the bourgeoisie, Negro clan. We can say all that shit. And you know what that shit does to Jay-Z's bank account? Nothing. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, man. I appreciate y'all brothers sticking around with my shit, going in and out and shit. Y'all probably can hear the thunder and the rain and shit in the background, man. I live in this cul-de-sac, man, and they don't believe in telephone poles, so everything's underground. So when we get a bad rainstorm, man, shit goes out, power goes out, internet goes out. It's just crazy. I mean, but I appreciate y'all coming through tonight, man, talking about this shit, man, and it's a Tuesday night. Maybe tomorrow. I think I'm going to do a show tomorrow too, because I don't usually do shows on Tuesday, but I'll probably do one tomorrow too. Another program note, if you done stuck around throughout this whole debacle known as T.P.O.T, like I said earlier, Thursday on DXL, we're going to have Big Nick from South Florida. Accountability is going to be in the house on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. Y'all need to look Big Nick up. He doing good work out there, man, out in them streets. Speaking of being out in those streets, brother Big Nick is out there, man. He be on them police ass, man, making sure that they do, what they supposed to do, make sure they ain't violating brothers' rights. So if you get a chance, check out Big Nick, South Florida Accountability. Big Nick is that dude, man, and he gonna be right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page Thursday night on DXL. Brother RJ, brother B.M.T, any final words before we cut out of here, brothers?
Shit, man. It's always good to, what I'm saying, Prophet, we've been rocking for a good minute now and just making great collaboration.
Yeah, man.
And it's funny because
you my brother, man.
Like, when we first started out, me and you bumped heads. And
we didn't even get along. Along.
That's but the way how we are now, people wouldn't know. And the thing, but see, that's just it, because you said, you know what, BMT, how about I check you out on your channel, and then I bring you over to come on up, and me and you have a talk. And see that right there brought my retrospective hindsight and view of you and your character. And I get it. And that's the thing about it is, we'll look at the next man to the left or right, but then check out their works, talk to them, and then bring them and have them sit at your table. And then after that, y'all both can grow. But I damn sure every time I see Prophet, I make sure I grab him without a shadow of a doubt. He don't even have to ask, and I'll send him a link. And he does the same thing for me. And see, so we both grow together. And that's the thing about it, that black men, you gotta say whether you always agree with that man at first, and the same thing with me and Taz. And when I first met RJ, I bumped with him too. See, y'all don't understand that that's the thing about it, is a code of men. Like, you ain't gonna always agree, but you say, you know, hell with that. Let's find a mutual standpoint where we can meet, and then we can work from there. Again, man, I done wrote. Listen, man, y'all thought what Prophet was saying tonight was rough. Y'all ain't gonna like me tomorrow, boy. I was writing down content just from this show right here, man. I was writing down some mean content, and Prophet know how I get when I'm sitting in my car or I'm at my desk by myself when I'm drinking my Coronas.
Oh yeah, I'm well aware. I'm well aware of the B.M.T turn up and shit.
So I definitely have a lot of content to go over. But the thing about it is, this was a good talk. This is a good talk. Let's start making some more. Let's make our own. Let's make our own successful young men and women. You know what I'm saying, for the future. You know what I'm saying. So, you know, I'm gonna pass to RJ. We don't want Prophet for the internet to go out.
And I want y'all brothers to come through on Thursday, man. I want y'all to look up a brother called Big Nick, South Florida Accountability, man. I mean, this dude is serious business, man, and he's gonna be right here on Thursday, man. It's gonna be a good show, man. Make sure y'all be here, man, because I know some people want to ask him. I know they want to ask him some questions and shit like that. And he might even show a few film clips or whatever, because he be doing some crazy shit. Actually, yesterday he just got acquitted because the cops had locked him up for some bullshit, and he took it to trial and he won yesterday. So he agreed to come through on Thursday. So we're gonna be talking to Big Nick, man, South Florida Accountability, man. Make sure y'all come through and check that out, man. It's gonna be good shit, man. The shit we talk about doing, Big Nick's out there doing it. Straight jacking, just like that. But anyway, any parting words, parting shots, brother RJ, before we tear out of here?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, man, I just want to thank you as always for having me in. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the, there's always a mutual respect there, and likewise for brother B.M.T. I echo those sentiments, man. Just let our work speak for us, and continue to move forward. Those who are going to get left behind, they're going to get left behind. It's too late in the game for the reach back. Let them come back to you after you've already planted the seed. Hey, it's at that point it's on them. Halftime is over. It's just too late in the game. I just wish number success for all you brothers, man, to continue to keep doing your thing in your respective communities. I started making content since the last time I was on your panel. And so, people come check me out, just giving quick little financial advice, little things where people can create other avenues of income, or perhaps it's a service that they could, use. And, I've been, pretty consistent.
Yeah, y'all brothers put y'all channels in the chat, man. So brothers can hit you up, brother RJ, brother B.M.T, because both of y'all, I believe, are mods on this here channel. So go ahead and put your links in the chat, your Instagram, your YouTube, whatever you want, man.
I certainly will. But like I mentioned, I thank you for having me on, brother. And I'll definitely be here Thursday to check you out and support you where I can, brother.
Yeah, because I don't know. I usually do this Hours of Power thing on Wednesday, but Cory had hit me up because me and Cory, we go way back. He was like, "Yo, X man, I want to come on tonight," so that's why I'm doing a show tonight. So this is a special edition, because I don't usually do no show on no damn Tuesday night. But he bounced up out of here. I'm about to call his ass and ask him why he left. But yeah, I appreciate both y'all brothers coming through. Like I said, man, put your links in the chat. And tomorrow, I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow, but if I am doing something tomorrow, y'all know y'all always welcome to come through, man. Y'all always welcome on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. You know,
it disappears as soon as you paste
all
it,
right.
brother.
Huh? It does? What
It
the hell?
disappeared.
I don't have it. Are you a mod?
I don't think
You're
so.
a mod on here, right?
No, sir.
Well, write something in the chat so I can mod you right quick.
Gotcha.
Damn, I thought you was a mod up on this joint, man. God
Now,
damn it.
so only mods can paste? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, only mods can put links and shit like that in there. I mean, you can
Right.
sometimes if you got the shit blocked, but yeah, there you go.
All right, let's try this.
All right, go ahead, brother RJ. You good now.
All right.
Cause see, brother B.M.T was able to put his shit up there.
All right, there we go. Thank you,
You
brother.
should see your shit in blue now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I appreciate everybody, man, for coming out tonight. What I need
Prophet,
got it, man.
It's getting really bad now. I think we time for us. We got to go now.
Oh yeah, but I got to do my closing spiel, man. I can't just
go ahead. I'm back out so you get
Go
more
right
power.
ahead, family.
Okay.
All right, peace now.
Peace, folks. Now, what I need y'all to do is get on down to Proper the Thought on Facebook. That's Proper the Thought, one word series, the next word on Facebook. That's our community page. That's our main page. Get on down there, like the page, follow the page, share the page. You can even drop old X a line if you want to. I'm guaranteed to get back to you between 24 and 168 hours. Guaranteed. While you're down there on Facebook, you might as well go on down to the Proper Thought Series fan group page. That's the Proper Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. Go ahead and request to be a member. You're guaranteed to get in, I promise. Also, check us out on WhatsApp and Instagram. That's Proper Thought. Leave out the series on Instagram. Also, if you follow us on Instagram, you guaranteed to get a follow back. And now here we go with the coup de grace. I need y'all to get your black behinds down to Twitter. The handle is at T.P.O.T Media on Twitter. That's at T.P.O.T Media on Twitter. Go ahead, follow us on Twitter. Because if you don't, I will haunt your old mama in her dreams up until Thanksgiving. Once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I want to thank my man RJ for coming through, my man B.M.T, and the guest of honor, Brother Cory Haywood, my man, for coming up and talking about this tonight and chopping it up. And most importantly, I want to thank you for showing up tonight, spending some time with us and watching us. And I want to thank the people in my chat as well for contributing to this conversation. Tomorrow, we may or may not be doing a show, but we definitely doing one on Thursday. Look out for it. Big Nick, South Florida Accountability will be in the house live and direct, and we're going to be taking your calls. I'm going to have the phone lines hooked up and the whole nine. Look out for the promo because you'll probably see that tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow, you'll see the promo with Big Nick, and I'll probably throw a few clips in there of the stuff that he does. So make sure you have your black behinds here Thursday night, 9:30 p.m. You know the time, right here on DXL. All right? You know. So, with that, we're going to wrap up the old
Hours of power. 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 Hours of power.
So, I will leave you with 3 words like I always do. Hit it, little man.
Let us open our mind.
I know leadership don't mean love don't mean retaliation.
Peace, folks.
If we don't stop parade, they celebrate. Eat caviar, drink champagne. In parade, they celebrate. At the death of a child of a slave. Open our minds. Child of a slave. Remember your forefathers' tears, the lives which was lost for us to see peaceful years. When shall it stop? Who remains flat? In parade, they celebrate. Eat caviar, drink champagne. In parade, they celebrate. At the death of the child of a slave. Drop the thought. Open our mind. If we don't stop, we don't stop. Open our mind. Open our mind. The child of a slave. Drop the thought. Open our mind.
Only from T.P.O.T.